the mystery of the Rumiwasi stone. High in the Peruvian Andes, beyond the well-known Inca ruins, lie enormous andesite stones that challenge conventional explanation. Among them is the mysterious Rumiwasi stone, a massive carved formation that continues to puzzle researchers and visitors alike. The blocks are the size of cars, sculpted from andesite, a volcanic rock as hard as granite. The precision and complexity of the carvings immediately raise a fundamental question: who shaped them, and at what point in history? Andesite is not an easy material to work. It rivals granite in hardness, requiring durable tools and immense effort to carve. The Inca are widely credited with remarkable stonework, yet they are believed to have relied primarily on bronze implements and meteorite iron hammerstones. While impressive, such tools would have made shaping andesite on this scale extremely challenging. The Rumiwasi stone, however, displays finely cut surfaces, straight edges, and carefully formed features that suggest a high level of skill and planning. What makes the artifact especially striking is the presence of carved stairways ascending its sides. The steps are proportioned and symmetrically aligned, giving the stone the appearance of a miniature architectural structure rather than a natural boulder. Even more intriguing is the way the stone appears to have fractured cleanly into two sections after the carving was completed. The break line runs through the carefully shaped surfaces, as though the finished monument split apart at a later time. Any experienced stone artisan would first test the integrity of a block before beginning work, ensuring hidden fissures would not undermine the final creation. The apparent snapping of the Rumiwasi stone after shaping suggests forces beyond the intentions of its creators. Additional mysteries are found in the surface details. The stone contains circular and rectangular depressions carved into its body. Some are shallow and smooth, others precisely defined. Their purpose remains uncertain. They may have been functional features related to ritual or astronomical observation, or perhaps symbolic elements embedded with meaning long forgotten. Whether these depressions were part of the original design or later modifications by the Inca remains open to interpretation. Nearby stands another remarkable andesite carving, known locally as an Intihuatana, often translated as the hitching post of the sun. According to tradition, this stone marks the arrival of the winter solstice. On the 21st or 22nd of June, as the sun rises, its light is said to align precisely with a carved opening in the stone. The astronomical precision implied by this alignment suggests sophisticated knowledge of celestial movements. Yet the smooth surfaces and absence of clear tool marks raise further questions about when and by whom it was fashioned. Some researchers propose that these stones may predate the Inca entirely, possibly originating from an earlier civilization such as the Perhuas or the legendary Viracochas. The craftsmanship, the scale, and the apparent antiquity of erosion patterns all hint at a much older timeline. The Proleek portal tomb. Rising quietly from the green countryside of County Louth, Ireland, the Proleek portal tomb stands as one of the most striking and mysterious megalithic monuments in all of the Irish landscape. Set against rolling grass and ancient trees, this prehistoric structure has endured for thousands of years, preserving not only its remarkable physical form, but also the deep mystery surrounding its origins. Believed to date back to around 3000 BC, the tomb represents an extraordinary achievement of early engineering, constructed in an age long before cranes, pulleys, or modern construction methods existed. The most astonishing feature of the Proleek portal tomb is its immense capstone. Weighing an estimated 35 tons, this colossal slab of stone rests delicately atop 3 upright portal stones that rise roughly 3 meters from the earth. The precision required to balance such an enormous weight on relatively narrow supports has puzzled researchers, historians, and engineers alike. Even with contemporary technology, maneuvering a stone of this size into such a position would demand meticulous planning and heavy machinery. Yet the builders of the tomb accomplished this feat using only the tools and techniques available in the distant prehistoric past, leaving behind no written explanation of how the task was achieved. Despite its classification as a portal tomb, often associated with ancient burial practices, the exact purpose of Proleek remains open to interpretation. While many believe it served as a ceremonial resting place or sacred ancestral site, Others sense that it may have held additional spiritual or ritual significance tied to celestial alignments or seasonal observances. The silence of the monument, combined with the absence of recorded history from its builders, has allowed folklore and legend to flourish around it for generations. Local tradition speaks of giants who once roamed the Irish landscape, shaping hills and stones with effortless strength. One enduring legend tells of a mighty Scottish giant named Para Bog MacShagan, who carried the enormous dolmen stone across the sea during an invasion of Ireland. According to the tale, he challenged the Irish giant Fionn MacCumhaill to combat. Through cunning rather than force, Fionn offered his rival a drink from a nearby river said to weaken those who consumed it. After his defeat, the fallen giant was believed to have been laid to rest within the massive wedge tomb located close to Proleek, binding the monument forever to mythic memory. The tomb is also steeped in traditions of luck and fate. Visitors have long participated in the ritual of tossing small stones onto the towering capstone. It is said that anyone who manages to land 3 consecutive stones successfully upon the great slab will receive good fortune. Another variation of the legend promises marriage within a year to those whose stones remain perched atop the monument. As a result, the capstone is often dotted with pebbles left behind by hopeful visitors seeking blessings from the ancient structure. The massive unfinished columns of Mons Claudianus quarry. Deep within the harsh and sun-scorched eastern desert of Egypt lies Mons Claudianus quarry, a remote site that once supplied some of the most magnificent structures of the Roman world. Active from the 1st century CE through the 3rd century CE, this quarry became one of the primary sources of granodiorite, a dense and durable stone prized for its strength and beauty. From this isolated desert outpost came the towering columns that would eventually stand in Emperor Hadrian's villa at Tivoli, the grand public baths of Rome, the Temple of Venus, Diocletian's palace at Split, and most famously, the portico of the Pantheon. Each of those Pantheon columns measures 39 feet tall, 5 feet in diameter, and weighs approximately 60 tons. Yet, it is not the monuments in Rome that spark the greatest mystery, but the massive unfinished columns still lying in the quarry itself. Scattered across the rocky landscape are enormous cylindrical stone shafts, some fully shaped, others partially carved, resting where they were cut from the bedrock. These columns are not rough blocks awaiting transport. They are nearly complete architectural elements, carefully rounded and smoothed, as if ready to be erected in some monumental structure. Their presence raises an unsettling question that continues to echo among researchers. Why would fully formed columns be carved in a quarry? Traditionally, a quarry is a place where stone is extracted in blocks and transported elsewhere for shaping. The act of finishing architectural elements in the extraction site challenges conventional understanding of ancient construction logistics. Some observers argue that Mons Claudianus appears less like a quarry and more like the remnants of something far greater. The precision and scale of the columns, abandoned in place, give the impression of halted construction rather than simple stone harvesting. Massive shafts lie broken or partially detached from the bedrock, suggesting either sudden interruption or immense difficulty in transport. Considering the remote desert location, far from major urban centers, the logistical challenge of moving 60-ton columns across miles of rugged terrain toward the Nile River would have required extraordinary organization and manpower. The engineering capability required to shape such colossal pieces of granodiorite is equally remarkable. Granodiorite is an exceptionally hard stone, demanding advanced techniques to cut, smooth and round it into perfect cylindrical forms. The craftsmanship evident in the columns demonstrates a mastery of stoneworking that aligns with Rome's architectural ambition. Yet the abandoned pieces suggest that not every attempt succeeded. Some shafts cracked during carving, while others may have been deemed too flawed for transport. The quarry itself functioned as a self-contained settlement during its peak operation, housing workers, soldiers, and administrators who supported the immense extraction efforts. Even so, the landscape today feels frozen in time, as if the labor ceased abruptly, leaving behind silent giants resting on desert stone. Whether viewed purely as a Roman industrial site or as something more mysterious, Mons Claudianus carries an air of unresolved purpose. The mystery of the Sayhuite monolith. Perched high in the Peruvian highlands, Surrounded by rolling green hills and distant mountain ridges, the Sayhuite monolith stands as one of the most intricate and mysterious creations of the ancient Andean world. Carved from a massive block of stone measuring approximately 11 feet in length, this extraordinary monument is covered in more than 200 detailed carvings that form a complex miniature landscape. Though widely recognized as an Incan or pre-Incan creation, its exact purpose, symbolic meaning, and the precise methods used to shape its elaborate features remain an enduring mystery. At first glance, the Sayhuite monolith appears almost like a three-dimensional map. Its surface is alive with terraces, channels, basins, stairways, geometric patterns, animal figures, and symbolic forms that intertwine in a dense and deliberate composition. The carvings flow across the stone in layered relief, creating the impression of mountains, valleys, rivers, and settlements, all compressed into a single monumental sculpture. Many researchers believe that it represents a topographically accurate model used to plan or teach advanced hydraulic systems. The Incas were masters of water management, constructing intricate irrigation networks that allowed agriculture to flourish in mountainous terrain. The monolith's winding channels and carved reservoirs suggest it may have functioned as a demonstration model for directing and controlling water flow. What deepens the mystery is the astonishing precision of the carvings. The stone surface has been sculpted with remarkable detail, each channel carefully angled and each basin thoughtfully positioned. The integration of naturalistic animal shapes, including serpents and felines, alongside architectural features, indicates that the monolith was not merely technical, but also symbolic. Water in Andean culture was sacred, associated with fertility, cosmic order, and divine forces. The stone may have served as both an engineering model and a ceremonial object, blending scientific knowledge with spiritual reverence. The craftsmanship required to produce such a piece raises further questions. Carving more than 200 distinct forms into solid stone without modern tools would have demanded extraordinary skill, planning, and patience. The artisans who created the monolith possessed a profound understanding of geology, symmetry, and spatial design. The smooth contours and interconnected channels suggest careful calculation rather than improvisation. Yet no written records survive to explain how the work was accomplished or what rituals may have accompanied its creation. The location of the Sayhuite monolith within a larger ceremonial complex adds to its significance. Positioned in a landscape already considered sacred, the stone appears to embody a microcosm of the Andean world. Some interpretations propose that water may have once been poured over its surface during rituals, allowing the carved channels to come alive as miniature rivers cascading across the stone. In this way, the monolith would have transformed from static sculpture into dynamic demonstration, merging art, engineering, and spirituality into a single experience. Despite decades of study, the Sayhuite monolith continues to resist definitive explanation. Its intricate carvings preserve knowledge that has yet to be fully decoded. The mystery of the largest ancient water storage tank in the Balkans, carved directly into rock. High in the rugged hills of southern Bulgaria, near the modern city of Kardzali, lies one of the most astonishing and mysterious feats of ancient engineering in the Balkans. Carved directly into the living rock of the sacred sanctuary of Perperikon is a colossal water storage reservoir, a structure so immense and precise that it continues to inspire awe among historians, archaeologists, and visitors alike. Measuring approximately 40 feet in length, 20 feet in width, and 20 feet in depth, the tank possesses a total capacity of roughly 432,000 litres of water. Hewn from solid stone atop a hill rising 470 metres above the surrounding landscape, its existence speaks to a civilization whose technical skill and spiritual vision were far ahead of their time. Perperikon itself is no ordinary archaeological site. The vast stone complex has been continuously inhabited since around 5000 BCE, forming part of a much larger megalithic sanctuary believed to span over 7,000 years of human activity. Temples, altars, corridors, and ceremonial chambers stretch across the rocky summit, all sculpted from the mountain as though the city had been revealed rather than built. Nearby, close to the village of Tatul, stands a shrine dedicated to the legendary figure Orpheus, a sacred site dating back to around 6000 BCE, placing it far older than the pyramids of Giza. Within this ancient ritual landscape, the enormous water reservoir occupies a place of both practical necessity and profound mystery. The sheer scale of the tank raises immediate questions. Carving such a vast chamber into solid rock would have required extraordinary planning, labor, and mathematical precision. The walls descend in clean vertical planes, their surfaces smoothed with deliberate craftsmanship. Even today, the reservoir is capable of holding vast quantities of rainwater, reflecting the sky like a dark mirror set into the stone. Positioned at the summit sanctuary, the tank would have served as a vital lifeline, ensuring a steady water supply for ritual gatherings, daily life, and ceremonial purification rites conducted at the sacred complex. Yet many researchers believe its purpose extended beyond simple storage. Water in ancient Thracian spirituality was deeply symbolic, associated with rebirth, prophecy, and communication with the divine. The reservoir's placement within a holy precinct suggests it may have played a central role in sacred ceremonies. Some traditions hold that priests and oracles used reflective water surfaces for divination, interpreting visions seen within the still depths. Others believe the tank collected not only rainwater, but ritual offerings, transforming it into a consecrated basin linking the earthly and spiritual realms. The engineering methods used to create the reservoir remain a subject of fascination. Without modern machinery, ancient builders shaped the immense cavity using stone tools, fire setting, and relentless manual labor. The precision of the angles and the structural stability of the chamber indicate advanced knowledge of geology and hydrology. Its endurance through millennia of weather, seismic activity, and human passage stands as a testament to the mastery of its creators. Today, the great stone tank of Perperikon endures as both monument and mystery. Suspended between practicality and spirituality, it embodies the fusion of survival and sacred devotion that defined the ancient sanctuary. The mystery of the Rota latte stone quarry. Hidden within the dense greenery of the northern Mariana Islands lies one of the Pacific's most intriguing archaeological mysteries, the Rota latte stone quarry. Scattered across the site are enormous coral limestone megaliths, some weighing close to 30 tons and measuring as much as 25 feet in length. These unfinished stones, abandoned where they were carved, stand as silent testimony to an ancient undertaking that was never completed. Though widely believed to have been intended as foundations for traditional Chamorro houses, the full story behind their creation, transport, and sudden abandonment remains a profound mystery. Latte stones are iconic pillars of Chamorro culture, typically composed of two parts: the haligi, a vertical shaft, and the tarsa, a capstone placed on top. At the quarry site on Rota, several haligi remain partially shaped, while massive tarsa lie nearby, some measuring approximately 7 feet across and 5 feet high. If completed and erected, certain structures would have towered nearly 25 feet into the air, making them among the largest ever associated with latte architecture. Their immense scale raises immediate questions about the tools and techniques used to carve such forms from solid limestone. Coral limestone, though softer than granite, still demands significant effort to shape, especially when working on such monumental dimensions. The precision required to sculpt smooth cylindrical shafts and balanced capstones suggests a sophisticated understanding of stoneworking. Yet no definitive explanation has been determined regarding how ancient builders quarried these massive forms, detached them from bedrock, or intended to transport them across uneven island terrain. The absence of clear tool marks indicating advanced metal implements deepens the mystery of the methods employed. Equally puzzling is the quarry's abrupt abandonment. The stones remain unfinished, frozen mid-process, as if work ceased without warning. There is no written record or oral account detailing why the project was halted. No evidence of natural disaster, invasion, or resource depletion conclusively explains the sudden silence that fell over the site. The stillness of the quarry evokes the sense of a grand vision interrupted. Local tradition offers a more mythic explanation. According to Chamorro lore, the stones were carved by the legendary giant Chief Taga, a powerful figure said to possess extraordinary strength. Stories claim that he shaped the massive latte stones before eventually relocating to the island of Tinian. Within this narrative, the quarry stands not only as an archaeological site, but as a monument to a larger-than-life cultural hero whose feats blurred the boundary between history and legend. The Rota latte stone quarry continues to captivate historians, archaeologists, and visitors alike. Its towering, unfinished megaliths embody both the ingenuity of ancient Chamorro society and the enduring gaps in human understanding. A new research paper suggests that the pyramids of Giza are far older than current estimates. A newly released study has reignited one of the greatest debates in human history, suggesting that the pyramids of Giza may be far older than traditionally believed. According to independent researcher Antonio Ambrosio from the Autonomous University of Barcelona, the monumental structures could date back as much as 12,000 years, placing their construction long before the rise of dynastic Egypt. His findings propose that the pyramids were not originally built as royal tombs for Khufu, Khafra, and Menkaura, but were instead inherited by the ancient Egyptians from a far more advanced and now forgotten civilization. In his recently published paper, which is currently awaiting peer review, Ambrosio presents a detailed examination of the pyramid's engineering precision. He highlights the nearly flawless flatness of the Great Pyramid's base, its extraordinary alignment with the cardinal directions, and its precise positioning in relation to certain stars. According to his analysis, the technical sophistication required to achieve such perfection suggests knowledge and tools that surpass what is traditionally attributed to the Old Kingdom builders between 2500 BC and 2150 BC. He argues that later Egyptian pyramids did not replicate this same level of refinement, indicating that the Giza structures may represent the legacy of a superior architectural tradition. One of the most compelling elements of the study centers on the absence of definitive royal burials within the pyramids. Although long identified as tombs, no confirmed royal mummies or extensive burial goods were discovered inside the Great Pyramid or its neighboring structures. Ambrosio contends that this absence supports the idea that the pyramids were repurposed by later Egyptian rulers who associated them with their own dynastic narratives. In this view, the Egyptians did not construct the pyramids, but instead integrated them into their religious and cultural framework, attributing them to their pharaohs. The study further proposes that a lost advanced civilization may have flourished near the end of the last ice age, possessing sophisticated astronomical knowledge and engineering capability. This so-called super-civilization, according to the research, may have been responsible for monumental projects whose origins were later obscured by time, environmental change, and the gradual erosion of historical memory. As the study circulates across academic and public spheres, it has sparked renewed fascination with humanity's distant past. The possibility that the pyramids could stand as silent witnesses to a civilization predating ancient Egypt challenges established timelines and invites a profound reconsideration of early human achievement. This man claimed he found a tunnel that goes directly underneath the Grand Canyon. In recent days, a mysterious video uploaded online has ignited widespread fascination, centering on what appears to be a vast and ancient tunnel hidden deep within the Grand Canyon. The footage, reportedly discovered through satellite imagery near Imperial Point, presents what many believe to be the entrance to an enormous passage descending directly into the Earth. The man who shared the discovery described it as one of the most astonishing finds he had ever encountered, insisting that the structure bears unmistakable signs of deliberate construction rather than natural formation. The alleged tunnel entrance appears embedded within the canyon wall, its dark opening framed by geometric shapes and angular recesses that seem far too precise to be accidental. Observers have pointed out that the surrounding rock face displays patterns and contours resembling carved stonework. Some enthusiasts have gone further, suggesting that the design echoes architectural motifs associated with ancient Mesoamerican civilizations, particularly those linked to Mayan craftsmanship. The resemblance has fueled speculation that unknown cultures may once have ventured far deeper into North America than traditionally believed. Adding to the intrigue is the tunnel's proximity to a modern access route. A main road leading toward Imperial Point lies only a short distance away, making the site theoretically reachable by aerial drone. This accessibility has sparked discussions among explorers and independent researchers, many of whom believe that a closer aerial survey could reveal further details hidden within the canyon's shadows. The possibility that additional entrances, carvings, or structural remnants may exist nearby has only intensified the sense of anticipation. Those who have analysed the footage frame by frame describe the opening as immense, large enough to allow passage into a subterranean network. The darkness within the entrance appears absolute, swallowing light in a way that suggests great depth. Some believe the tunnel could lead to chambers, passageways, or even an underground complex lost to time. The notion that such a structure could remain concealed within one of the world's most studied natural landmarks has deepened the mystery. The discovery has also revived long-standing legends surrounding hidden cities and forgotten civilizations said to exist beneath the canyon. For generations, stories have circulated of sealed caverns, sacred passageways, and ancient knowledge preserved underground. This newly surfaced footage has given fresh life to those accounts, with many viewing it as visual confirmation that the canyon still guards secrets yet to be fully understood. Large humanoid creature encountered on Highway 1. In the late summer of 2009, along the quiet stretch of Highway 1 between Kenora, Ontario and Winnipeg, Manitoba, an encounter occurred that would permanently alter 2 lives. The road, familiar and often travelled by a couple who operated an art shop, had never felt threatening before that evening. Yet as the sun dipped toward the horizon sometime between 7 and 8 in the evening, something crossed their path that neither has ever been able to dismiss or rationalise. Carrie, who was 41 when she eventually chose to speak publicly about the incident, had been travelling with her partner of 11 years. They had closed their shop at approximately 6:30 in the evening and set out eastward toward Winnipeg to visit family, a routine journey they had made many times. As they drove along the divided highway, known for frequent deer crossings, Carrie scanned the roadside with practiced attention. What first caught their notice was an unusual black void interrupting the glow of oncoming headlights across the median. At first, they assumed it was a deer stepping into the light. Moments later, their own headlights illuminated the figure, and the assumption dissolved instantly. Suspended low above the roadway, at roughly the height of their vehicle's headlights, was a bald, black-skinned humanoid form with enormous bat-like wings. It was unclothed, its skin appearing textured rather than furred. The wings were vast and proportionate to its body, their membranes thin and visibly veined, similar to anatomical references Carrie had studied and even tattooed in her professional artwork. As the beam of light struck the being, it lifted one wing before its face as if shielding itself from the glare. The encounter unfolded in mere seconds. When the creature crossed fully into their lane, Carrie estimated it was within approximately 6 feet of the vehicle. She believed its body length exceeded 6 feet, with wings extending broadly from its frame. Both she and her partner braked abruptly, stunned by what had just passed before them. She emphasized repeatedly that they both saw the same thing, describing it later in identical detail. The emotional impact was immediate and profound. Upon arriving in Winnipeg, they shared the experience with their parents, bracing for disbelief. Instead, both sets of parents accepted their account without dismissal. A family priest offered holy water and reminded them of the phrase about walking in the valley of death, words that took on an entirely new resonance after the sighting. In the months that followed, fear lingered heavily over their lives. They avoided being alone, even inside their own cabin. Carrie described the event as the most terrifying experience she had ever endured, one that shook her faith and her understanding of reality itself. It took at least a full year before she felt comfortable being outdoors alone after sunset. Over time, the intensity of the fear gradually lessened, though the memory remained vivid. Years later, she searched for similar accounts and discovered drawings and reports that mirrored what she had witnessed, bringing a measure of reassurance. She later chose to be baptized, marking a personal transformation shaped in part by that evening on Highway 1. To this day, she remains unwavering in her certainty, holding firmly to the truth of what crossed the road before them in the fading light of late summer. The mystery of the 300-million-year-old wheel found in a 900-meter deep coal mine. In 2008, an unusual and thought-provoking discovery emerged from deep beneath the earth in a coal mine located in Donetsk, Ukraine. While excavating a tunnel approximately 900 meters below the surface, miners working on the J3 Sukhodolski coal coking stratum encountered something that would leave many both intrigued and baffled: what appeared to be the imprint of a wheel embedded in the ceiling of the sandstone tunnel. The discovery, though not widely publicized at the time, gained attention when Mine Deputy Chief V.V. Kruzhelin photographed the peculiar formation and shared the images with mine foreman S. Kasatkin. This testimony, along with photographs and statements from other mine workers, forms the basis for what has become known as the alleged 300-million-year-old wheel. Due to the brittle and fragile nature of the surrounding sandstone, the imprint could not be removed from the mine without risking damage to it. As a result, the site remains unstudied directly by scientists, and all information available today rests solely on the photographs and first-hand accounts of those who witnessed it before the mine closed in 2009. According to geological assessments, the coal deposits in the Donetsk region are known to originate from the Carboniferous period, a geological era dating from approximately 360 to 300 million years ago. This period is long before the rise of humans or even the appearance of the dinosaurs. If the sandstone that contains the wheel imprint indeed dates to this period, it raises significant questions about the presence of an object that appears to resemble a crafted tool embedded in such ancient rock. In a written account, mine foreman S. Kasatkin elaborated on the situation surrounding the discovery. He explained that once the wheel-like imprint was spotted, the team of miners requested that scientists be brought in to examine the anomaly. However, the mine's director, allegedly acting under the direction of the mine's owner, dismissed this request and instead ordered the team to continue working through the area. As a result, the artifact and a second, smaller imprint discovered shortly afterward were lost beneath tunnel debris and were never recovered for further analysis. Kasatkin mentioned that several engineers and miners saw the imprint firsthand, and that over a dozen individuals could verify its existence. Due to the mine's strict access limitations and hazardous conditions, gaining outside verification was extremely difficult. The crew even attempted to extract the imprint from the sandstone with handheld tools, but ultimately abandoned the effort for fear of damaging it, due to the rock's density and strength. Despite the limitations in physical access and the closure of the mine, the photographs remain the strongest evidence of the find. These images depict what appears to be a wheel-shaped outline embedded in the rock above the miners. Although it's not possible to confirm whether the object was ever an actual wheel or a naturally occurring shape that resembles one, the symmetry and detail suggest a design not commonly seen in random geological formations. Scientists have long debated such anomalies found in ancient rock. While the mainstream view holds that humans and human-made tools did not exist millions of years ago, discoveries like this continue to challenge the conventional narrative. The idea that a wheel or similar man-made object could have become fossilized in rock from the Carboniferous period introduces questions about either the accuracy of geological dating, unknown ancient civilizations, or some yet unexplained process. One theory proposed by some researchers suggests that the imprint may have resulted from a form of fossilization known as diagenesis, where organic or inorganic material slowly dissolves and leaves an impression in surrounding sediment that hardens over millions of years. If that process were at play here, then a physical object, whether artificial or not, would have had to exist at the time the sediment was laid down. That timeline, however, predates not only humanity, but any complex mammals. While critics argue that such anomalies are likely the result of misidentified objects, supporters of the discovery point to the striking resemblance of the imprint to a wheel as reason enough to warrant further investigation. If the account is genuine and the photographs are authentic, the Donetsk wheel may stand as one of the more mysterious findings within the realm of ancient anomalies. Its potential implications stretch across disciplines, from archaeology and geology to human history and the understanding of Earth's distant past. Whether it's an example of a misidentified natural formation or something far more significant remains uncertain. The closure of the mine and the inaccessibility of the original site make further study nearly impossible. With the area now flooded and the mining equipment removed, any future examination may depend on the authenticity and analysis of the photographs and eyewitness testimonies alone. In the end, the discovery poses more questions than it answers. Could it be that human history stretches back far further than currently believed? Might there have been civilizations lost to time, predating the known timeline of human development? Or is this simply a curious geological formation that closely resembles something familiar to us? Until further evidence emerges, or the site becomes accessible again, the mystery of the Donetsk Wheel remains one of the many unexplained phenomena that continue to intrigue researchers and spark debate. Like other ancient anomalies scattered throughout the world, it serves as a reminder that despite all the advancements in science and technology, there are still corners of Earth's history that remain hidden beneath layers of rock, time, and mystery. The fate of the Anasazi civilization is a mystery. The Anasazi civilization, also referred to as the ancient Pueblo people, once thrived in the rugged and arid landscapes of the American Southwest. Their presence was most prominent in the modern-day states of Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, and Utah. These ancient people are best remembered for their remarkable architectural achievements, particularly the cliff dwellings carved into sandstone mesas, as well as for their artistic pottery, advanced farming systems, and complex societal structures. Despite their legacy of innovation and resilience, the sudden and unexplained disappearance of the Anasazi remains one of the most compelling mysteries in North American archaeology. The disappearance of the Anasazi, believed to have occurred around the end of the 13th century, has puzzled scholars for decades. Among the most widely accepted explanations is the impact of an extended drought. The region inhabited by the Anasazi was already known for its limited water resources, and tree ring data indicates that a significant drought lasting several decades may have severely disrupted their agricultural practices. The inability to grow sufficient food would have placed enormous strain on their communities, leading to food shortages, migrations, and ultimately the abandonment of once thriving settlements. In addition to environmental stress, there is evidence suggesting that social and political unrest may have contributed to the Anasazi's decline. Some archaeological sites show signs of defensive structures and hastily built walls, indicating that conflicts, either internal or with neighboring groups, could have played a role. Scattered remains at certain sites point to episodes of violence, possibly as a result of competition for dwindling resources during the drought period. As communities struggled to survive, tensions may have escalated, prompting movement away from ancestral lands. Another possibility is that the Anasazi experienced environmental changes beyond just drought. Natural disasters, such as floods, landslides, or wildfires, could have further compromised their ability to maintain stable living conditions. These events may have compounded existing difficulties, making it impossible for some settlements to continue functioning. Changes in animal populations, shifts in vegetation, and degradation of the land from overuse may also have played a role in their gradual disappearance. Despite the uncertainty surrounding their fate, there is growing understanding that the Anasazi did not vanish entirely. Rather than a complete disappearance, many scholars believe the Anasazi gradually migrated and integrated with other Puebloan peoples. Their descendants likely became part of other indigenous groups, such as the Hopi and Zuni, who still inhabit the southwest today and carry forward many traditions believed to have originated with the Anasazi. In the end, the decline of the Anasazi civilization appears to be the result of a combination of interconnected factors. While many questions remain, ongoing research and respect for oral traditions may one day provide greater clarity. The story of the Anasazi remains a powerful reminder of how deeply human life is intertwined with the environment and the complex challenges ancient communities faced in adapting to their changing world. Mars Curiosity rover records a mysterious cigar-shaped UFO leaving the planet. In 2014, a remarkable discovery was made while examining photographs taken by NASA's Curiosity rover on Mars. UFO researchers spotted a cigar-shaped object hovering above the Martian surface, an anomaly that has since sparked widespread speculation and intrigue. The images, captured by Curiosity's right-hand navigation camera on May 4th, show what appears to be a long, cylindrical white object suspended in the Martian sky for approximately 16 minutes. This unusual sighting has led many to question whether extraterrestrial activity is being observed around Mars, and whether NASA is withholding crucial information about the presence of unknown objects orbiting the red planet. Curiosity has been actively exploring the Gale crater on Mars since 2012, capturing thousands of raw images as part of its mission to study the planet's surface, atmosphere, and geological history. These images are sent back to Earth for analysis, providing scientists and independent researchers alike with an opportunity to examine every aspect of the Martian environment. It was during one of these routine examinations that UFO enthusiasts noticed something unusual. A sleek, elongated object hovering in the sky, unlike anything previously observed on Mars. The shape and appearance of the object immediately caught the attention of researchers. Unlike the usual debris, dust particles, or camera anomalies that can sometimes appear in space imagery, this object exhibited characteristics that suggested it was something far more structured and deliberate. The cylindrical shape has been widely reported in past UFO sightings, particularly those involving so-called cigar-shaped UFOs, which have been observed on Earth for decades. The fact that an object with similar features has now been captured hovering over Mars raises profound questions about the possibility of extraterrestrial activity in the Martian orbit. Perhaps the most compelling aspect of this sighting is that the object remained in the air for 16 minutes. If this were merely an artifact of the camera, an issue with light exposure, or an optical illusion, it would not have persisted for such a significant length of time. Additionally, given Mars's thin atmosphere and lack of strong winds capable of suspending objects in mid-air, the possibility that this was some form of natural debris seems highly unlikely. Researchers argue that the object's presence, position, and duration suggest deliberate movement or control, rather than an uncontrolled environmental phenomenon. This sighting is not the first time cigar-shaped UFOs have been linked to space exploration. If the object seen in Curiosity's 2014 images is indeed an advanced craft, it raises several critical questions. Why was it hovering over Mars? Was it observing the rover, or did it have a separate mission on the planet? Some researchers speculate that Mars, being one of the most Earth-like planets in our solar system, could be of interest to extraterrestrial visitors. If intelligent life exists elsewhere, it would make sense for them to monitor planets that hold potential for life or future colonization. The idea that we are not alone in exploring Mars is both exciting and unsettling. NASA has remained silent on the issue, providing no clear explanation for the anomaly. The space agency has a long history of dismissing UFO-related findings, often attributing them to camera glitches, reflections, or natural phenomena. However, given the object's clear shape, prolonged presence, and structured appearance, these conventional explanations fall short. The lack of an official statement has only fueled speculation that NASA is withholding evidence of extraterrestrial encounters. Some argue that the object could be space debris or a speck of dust on the camera lens, but these explanations fail to account for the sustained appearance of the object for over 16 minutes. If it were dust or a photographic artifact, it would likely appear in only one frame or change position erratically. Instead, the cigar-shaped UFO remained consistently in view, behaving in a way that suggests it was a physical object hovering in Martian airspace. Strange creature found on Mars. In 2015, an unusual photograph taken by NASA's Mars rover ignited widespread curiosity and speculation among enthusiasts and researchers alike. The image appeared to depict a crab-shaped object nestled within the rocky terrain of Mars, instantly sparking a debate about the possibility of life on the red planet. While many saw the image as just another example of Mars's peculiar geological formations, others viewed it as potential evidence of something far more significant. The object in question seemed to have distinct features, outstretched appendages, symmetrical shapes, and a central body that to some observers resembled the form of a crab. This apparent structure led some to suggest that it could be a living creature or even the remains of an ancient sculpture, possibly left behind by an intelligent civilization that once inhabited Mars. These theories, while speculative, caught the attention of countless followers of space exploration, and the image circulated widely across online forums, social media platforms, and websites dedicated to mysteries beyond Earth. Skeptics, however, were quick to offer a more grounded explanation. They pointed out that the so-called crab-like figure was likely the result of seeing shapes or patterns in random or ambiguous visuals. This tendency to see recognizable images, such as animals or faces, in clouds, rocks, or shadows, is well documented and often plays a role in interpreting unusual planetary features. NASA scientists and planetary geologists have consistently emphasized that many strange-looking formations on Mars are simply the result of wind erosion, volcanic activity, and sedimentation over millions of years. Despite the scientific explanations, the image continued to fuel theories about the possibility of extraterrestrial life or even ancient civilizations that might have once thrived on Mars. Some researchers and amateur observers speculated that if intelligent life had once existed on the planet, remnants like this supposed crab might be scattered across its barren surface. Others suggested that such artifacts, if genuine, could point to a more complex history of Mars than currently understood. The fascination with the crab-shaped object reflects a broader human desire to explore and understand the unknown. Mars, with its stark landscapes and history of water presence, has long captured the imagination of scientists and storytellers. Every new image from the Martian surface offers a chance to uncover secrets buried under layers of dust and rock. Even when these secrets turn out to be illusions or misinterpretations, the process of questioning, hypothesizing, and investigating remains at the heart of scientific curiosity. Although the mystery of the crab-shaped object remains unresolved, it continues to symbolize humanity's enduring quest to seek out life beyond Earth. Whether the formation was a natural rock or something more unusual, it encouraged a wave of public engagement with science and sparked discussions about our place in the universe. The mysterious disappearance of Alexander Kru. On July 17, 2020, Alexander Kru, a 33-year-old individual, went missing in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. The circumstances surrounding his disappearance revolve around his connection with a woman he met online and his intentions to meet her in Mexico. Since then, there has been no trace of him. Alexander Michael Kru, born on January 15, 1987, hails from Illinois, but predominantly grew up in the vibrant city of Milwaukee, Wisconsin during his formative years. Throughout his journey, he has assumed the esteemed role of a proud father. Demonstrating remarkable talent, Kru showcased his excellence as an athlete, particularly in the game of baseball. Kru's life took a turn for the worse during his high school years when he started associating himself with the wrong group of people. Concerned about his well-being, his family made efforts to get him the help he needed by sending him to a rehabilitation center. Following his graduation, Kru pursued higher education at the University of Wisconsin and Milwaukee Area Technical College, focusing on the field of CNC programming. Additionally, he gained practical experience as a welder subsequent to completing his college education. During the period when he went missing, Kru was residing with some acquaintances in a residential area located on West Finn Place in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It is worth mentioning that he was quite active on various social media platforms, frequently sharing updates and maintaining regular communication with his family members. This suggests that he had a strong online presence and was actively engaged in staying connected with his loved ones. On the 17th of July, 2020, there was a sighting of Alexander Kru near West Finn Place in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. At that time, he was reportedly seen in that specific area. Kru's final interaction with his family occurred through a telephone conversation on August 6, 2020. This communication marked their most recent connection before the present moment. Following his unavailability, his family proceeded to file a report of a missing person with the Milwaukee Police Department, concerned about his whereabouts and unable to establish any communication with him. Alexander Kru was beset by health challenges, and his family holds the belief that his psychological well-being was deteriorating during the period when he went missing. Kru's acquaintances have shared that he allegedly formed a connection with an individual through an online platform prior to his vanishing. It was revealed that they engaged in conversations about potentially embarking on a journey to Texas, followed by a subsequent visit to Mexico in order to meet this woman in person. Despite the urging of his friends to reconsider, there is no concrete evidence validating that Kru ever arrived at either of these destinations, raising doubts about the fruition of his travel plans. According to Kru's acquaintances, he mentioned his intention to travel to California via a Greyhound bus, hinting at the prospect of a lucrative opportunity. However, there is a lack of evidence to substantiate the claim that he actually departed from Wisconsin. Kru, prior to his mysterious disappearance, was devoid of both financial resources and the means for international travel, such as a passport or any form of transportation. It is worth noting that he did not possess an automobile, and predominantly relied on alternative methods of mobility, such as walking, utilizing public transportation, or seeking assistance from fellow individuals for commutation purposes. According to a family member of Kru, in July 2020, there was a sighting of him in the company of a Hispanic woman, although her identity remains unknown. It was reported that during that time, she was driving either a maroon Nissan Murano or a white Nissan sedan. This information showcases the potential connection between Kru and the Hispanic woman, raising questions about their relationship and the circumstances surrounding their encounter. According to numerous acquaintances, there are several individuals who assert that they have encountered the mysterious woman as well. They affirm that she would occasionally provide him with meals and offer transportation services. After a thorough investigation, law enforcement officials have determined that there is no indication of any criminal activity involved in the mysterious vanishing of Alexander Kru. The exact circumstances surrounding Alexander's disappearance continue to elude the authorities, leaving his case classified as a missing person. The disappearance of Julia Ann Bean. Julia Ann Bean, a 36-year-old woman, went missing on May 31, 2017, in Sumter, South Carolina. Her disappearance occurred shortly after she was spotted in the company of a mysterious unidentified male. The circumstances surrounding her disappearance raise numerous questions. Julia Ann Bean, a woman born on May 2, 1981, has the important role of being a mother to 3 children. Bean's friends and relatives have revealed that during the period when she went missing, she was grappling with personal challenges. Furthermore, her daughter recollected instances where various men provided her with money. In Sumter, South Carolina, on the fateful day of May 31, 2017, Julia Ann Bean, a woman in her prime, was last sighted by her concerned daughter in the vicinity of Red Bay Road. This particular day held promises of mother-daughter bonding, as they had eagerly planned to indulge in a pampering session at the local nail salon. However, as fate would have it, Bean arrived at the establishment accompanied by an unfamiliar gentleman who was in charge of maneuvering a somber-looking dark truck. The gentleman informed his daughter about his ownership of multiple lake houses and large boats, extending an invitation for her to host a boat party whenever she desired. Furthermore, he expressed his willingness to accompany her to a concert and even expressed his desire to marry Bean. Bean's daughter, whose high school graduation was just a day away, generously handed over a pair of tickets to a man, enabling him to be a part of the momentous ceremony alongside Bean. This act of kindness exemplifies the strong bond between Bean's daughter and the man. Bean failed to make an appearance at her daughter's momentous graduation ceremony and has remained elusive ever since, with no communication being established. On the 18th of November, in the year 2017, the family of this individual took the necessary step of submitting a report to the Sumter Police Department, expressing their concern over her sudden disappearance. Bean inadvertently forgot to bring along her wallet, cell phone, and keys when she left her house. In terms of financial resources, she possessed a substantial amount of $5,000 deposited in her bank account, in addition to an undisclosed amount of cash kept inside her purse. At the time when Bean went missing, she did not possess a mobile phone. There are suspicions of foul play surrounding the mysterious disappearance of Julia Ann Bean. The exact details of her disappearance are still unclear, and as a result, her case is currently labelled as a missing persons case. This unsettling situation remains unresolved, leaving unanswered questions and lingering concerns. The disappearance of Alexis Ware. Alexis Ware, a 29-year-old woman, went missing in Anderson, South Carolina on January 30th, 2022. Her disappearance occurred following a meeting with her former partner at a gas station. The circumstances surrounding her vanishing remain a matter of concern, leaving her friends and family worried. Alexis Ware, who resided in Greenville, South Carolina, went missing along with her 2 children. Her household consisted of a 9-year-old daughter and a 2-year-old son. This disappearance case has garnered significant attention due to the circumstances surrounding her absence. Alexis, a skilled hairstylist, operated her own home studio where she catered to a loyal clientele. With a strong presence on social media, she aspired to venture into the realm of Instagram modeling, utilizing her creativity and expertise to showcase various hairstyles and fashion trends. Beyond her immediate goals, Alexis harbored long-term ambitions of establishing an exclusive boutique in the vibrant city of Atlanta, envisioning it as a stepping stone towards a better future for her family. Over the course of a leisurely weekend from January 29th to January 31st, 2022, Alexis Ware decided to take a break from her usual routine in Greenville, South Carolina. Eager to spend quality time with her loved ones, she embarked on a journey to her mother's residence. She expressed her feelings of anxiety and unease to her mother, recounting her experiences of being followed and receiving unwelcome calls from an unidentified individual. These unnerving encounters had left her with a deep sense of fear, causing her to doubt whether she would even reach the milestone of her impending 30th birthday. In the early afternoon of January 30th, 2022, Sarah Ware bid farewell to her mother and embarked on her journey back to her hometown of Greenville. 3 hours later, at precisely 3 in the afternoon, she engaged in a heartfelt conversation with her mother through the convenience of a video chat, during which she casually mentioned her intention to catch up on some much-needed rest. In the evening, at approximately 7, Ware made her way to the 7-Eleven store located on Highway 29 North in Anderson, South Carolina. Her intention was to meet T.J. Patterson, the father of her youngest child. Upon arrival, she entrusted the care of their children to him, after which they departed the premises in their respective vehicles. Ware was originally intended to accompany Patterson to his mother's residence before returning to her own mother's abode. However, as per reports, at some juncture, she purportedly maneuvered her vehicle ahead of his at a red traffic signal and swiftly accelerated into the darkness of the night. In the evening, precisely at 7:30, Patterson took the initiative to reach out to Ware's mother and provided a detailed account of the events leading to their separation. Patterson expressed her concern by attempting to call her daughter's cell phone. However, her attempts were unsuccessful, as the call directly diverted to her voicemail. Alexis Ware, a young woman with a promising future, mysteriously disappeared without a trace and did not make it back to her home. On the first day of February in the year 2022, the family of the individual in question took the step of submitting a report to the Anderson County Sheriff's Office, as they were unable to establish contact with her. In the evening of January 30th, 2022, there was a significant event related to Ware's cell phone. At precisely 8:15 in the evening, her cell phone sent a signal that indicated its location as Anderson, South Carolina. This important piece of information provided a starting point for further investigation. Furthermore, there were additional sightings of her car captured by surveillance cameras at an apartment complex in Anderson on multiple occasions throughout that night. In the late hours of that very evening, the surveillance cameras along the highway in Augusta, Georgia, approximately 1 hour's drive away, captured the presence of Ware's car. However, it remains uncertain as to whether Alexis Ware herself was behind the wheel of the vehicle during that particular moment in time. This raises questions about the identity of the individual who may have been operating the vehicle. On the 1st of February, 2022, the vehicle belonging to Ware, which was a red Honda Accord manufactured in the year 2019 and bearing a South Carolina license plate, was discovered abandoned and heavily coated in mud. This peculiar finding took place in a hunting field located in McCormick, South Carolina, approximately 30 miles to the south of Anderson. Ware lacked any companions or relatives in the vicinity of McCormick. Interestingly, her cell phone, purse, and identification documents were discovered within the vehicle itself, indicating their undeniable presence. Furthermore, an assortment of garments was recovered from the trunk, suggesting possible intention for a change of attire. On a peculiar note, her hair bonnet was stumbled upon lying on the ground adjacent to the automobile. This collection of intriguing details raises profound questions and warrants further investigation into the circumstances surrounding Ware's situation in the McCormick area. In their investigative efforts, the police successfully obtained fingerprints from the vehicle in question. However, they have refrained from disclosing any information regarding the potential match between these prints and the individual suspected to be Ware or any other person involved in the case. T.J. Patterson, in his statement to the authorities, recounted that on January 30th, he departed for home after meeting with Alexis at the gas station. The following day, he proceeded to work as usual. As part of the investigation, surveillance footage from the gas station's parking lot was carefully examined, revealing no unusual activities or circumstances. This thorough analysis aimed to gain a comprehensive understanding of the events surrounding T.J. Patterson's activities during this time period and provide additional insights into the case. Currently, there have been no individuals identified as persons of interest in the case of Alexis's disappearance. However, the police have made it clear that they are actively investigating all potential leads and considering every possibility. In the investigation into Alexis Ware's disappearance, the police have thoroughly examined the case and have not come across any evidence, means, or motives indicating foul play. The details surrounding the disappearance of Alexis Ware are shrouded in mystery, leaving investigators with little information to work with. At present, her whereabouts remain unknown, and the case remains unsolved. The mysterious disappearance of two sisters from a remote village. In the quiet, remote village of Asteo on Saipan Island, part of the Northern Mariana Islands, a haunting mystery has gripped the community for over a decade. Faloma Kitugwa-Luk, born on February 9, 2001, and her younger sister, Malena Kitugwa-Luk, born on February 13, 2002, were two bright and well-loved children raised by their grandparents after both parents had left the island. Their father, a former police officer, had relocated to Micronesia for work and rarely maintained contact with the family, while their mother had moved to Guam and eventually to the mainland United States. Despite the physical absence of their parents, Faloma and Malena were surrounded by a loving extended family. Their grandparents, aunts, uncles, and cousins all played active roles in their upbringing. The girls attended school in a neighboring town and were known for their friendly nature and their ability to make friends easily. Life was simple and safe, until the morning of May 25, 2011, when everything changed. That day, the girls woke early and prepared for school. Their bus stop, a small covered pavilion just a few hundred meters from their home, was a short walk away. At 6:10 in the morning, they were seen sitting together on a cement slab at the bus stop. It was a seemingly normal start to the day, but when school ended at 3:30 in the afternoon, the girls had not returned home. Concerned, their grandparents flagged down the school bus and asked the driver about the sisters. The driver wasn't sure if they had boarded, but all the remaining students insisted they hadn't seen the girls at all that day. Panicked, the family contacted the school, only to learn that Faloma and Malena had not attended any classes that day. The realization was horrifying. The girls had gone missing sometime between 6:10 and 6:30 in the morning, the time their school bus typically arrived. For over 10 hours, no one had noticed they were missing. The school had not called to check on their absence, and crucial hours had slipped by without any search effort being initiated. Immediately after confirming the girls were missing, their grandparents contacted the local police. Fortunately, the authorities took the matter seriously from the start. An island-wide alert was issued, and the family distributed missing person flyers in the community and the nearby Thursday market. Police officers began conducting door-to-door searches, questioning residents, and canvassing the neighborhood for any signs or information. Investigators focused on the bus stop, where the girls were last seen. Nothing appeared out of place. There were no signs of a struggle or evidence suggesting the girls had run away. No personal items were left behind. This led the police to strongly suspect foul play and suggested the girls had been taken. They gathered details from witnesses and classmates, learning that no one saw the girls after they were spotted waiting for the bus. In a crucial discovery, police confirmed that the window of their disappearance was just 20 minutes between 6:10 and 6:30 in the morning. The girls' physical descriptions were quickly disseminated. Faloma, who was 5'1" and weighed 90 pounds, was wearing jeans and a white blouse. Malena, who stood 4 feet tall and weighed 65 pounds, had on jeans and a light green shirt with a butterfly design. She also had a noticeable birthmark on her left cheek. Both girls carried backpacks with their names and home phone number written on the straps. Faloma's was dark purple and labelled with Kitugwa-Luk, while Malena's featured a Dora the Explorer design. The dense vegetation surrounding the area likely obscured whatever occurred, and despite the many homes nearby, no witnesses came forward with credible sightings. As part of the investigation, police examined Faloma's school journal, but it revealed nothing unusual. Malena's journal, however, was missing, raising further questions. The police pursued every lead they could with the limited resources they had. One of their final independent efforts was to search the local landfill. But this labor-intensive task proved too difficult for the small department to handle alone. Recognizing the severity of the situation and the potential need for greater expertise and manpower, local authorities reached out for federal assistance. On May 27th, just 2 days after the disappearance, help arrived. The FBI, US Customs and Border Protection, and the US Marshals Service joined the investigation. Homeland Security and the DEA also sent personnel to assist. With these powerful agencies involved, the search effort expanded dramatically. A force of 500 volunteers combed through the island's rugged terrain. US Navy helicopters and a C-130 aircraft from the Air Force flew aerial searches over the jungles. Divers scoured the surrounding beaches, and a specially trained tracking dog from Hawaii was brought in to navigate the thick jungle. Quarantine laws were even waived to expedite the canines' arrival. Despite the immense effort and coordination, no trace of the two sisters was ever found. Their disappearance remains one of the most baffling and heartbreaking mysteries in the history of the Northern Mariana Islands. The community was left with unanswered questions, and the girl's family continues to live with the pain of not knowing what happened. Years later, the case of Philoma and Malena Look still haunts those who remember it. The photograph of two smiling young sisters, full of life, stands in sharp contrast to the emptiness left in their absence. Their disappearance serves as a chilling reminder of how quickly lives can change, even in the most peaceful and remote corners of the world. Despite the lack of answers, their memory lives on in the hearts of those who search for justice and truth. The mysterious 1566 celestial phenomenon over Basel. In the summer of 1566, the skies above Basel, Switzerland, became the stage for one of the most mysterious and widely witnessed celestial events in recorded history. Spanning over several days, specifically July 27th, July 28th, and August 7th, a series of strange and dramatic occurrences in the sky were observed by numerous residents of the city and surrounding countryside. These events were later documented in a printed pamphlet by the Basel historian Samuel Coccius, who interpreted them through a religious lens. However, the phenomena have since drawn the attention of historians, meteorologists, and even UFO researchers, each offering different interpretations of what transpired in those eerie skies. According to the pamphlet, the first strange event occurred on July 27th. On that day, the sun reportedly shone brightly throughout the day, but around 9 in the evening, its appearance began to change dramatically. Witnesses claimed the sun dimmed and took on the size and shape of the full moon, eventually appearing to weep tears of blood, while the sky behind it darkened ominously. The moon, nearly full at the time, also took on a deep, unsettling red hue. Such a dramatic transformation of both sun and moon deeply alarmed those who witnessed it, leading Coccius and others to believe the events carried divine or apocalyptic significance. The following day, July 28th, the sun once again behaved abnormally. It rose around 6 o'clock, but retained the eerie, blood-red coloration it had exhibited the night before. The sky and buildings were bathed in this red light, casting an unnatural glow over the city. The sun's persistence in this altered state only reinforced the belief among many at the time that the heavens were sending a message, perhaps one of warning, judgment, or divine intervention. However, the most dramatic spectacle came on August 7th. In the early hours of the morning, just before sunrise, witnesses reported seeing large black spheres moving rapidly through the sky. These spheres, numbering in the dozens, seemed to move with coordination and purpose, as if engaging in a kind of battle. Some of the spheres were described as fiery red, while others appeared to collide, crumble, or vanish into the ether. The phenomenon unfolded in full view of the rising sun, creating a surreal and chaotic scene that left witnesses in awe and confusion. While Coccius framed these occurrences as divine signs, consistent with the religious interpretation common in 16th century Europe, modern scholars have explored alternative explanations. Historians and meteorologists have speculated about the atmospheric conditions that might have produced such vivid and strange visual effects. Some suggest rare weather events, atmospheric optics, or even volcanic activity elsewhere in the world may have contributed to the unusual sun and moon appearances. However, it is the August 7th event, the apparent battle of black and fiery spheres, that has captured the imagination of UFO researchers. To some in the modern era, the description bears a striking resemblance to unidentified flying objects, or UFOs, engaging in some kind of coordinated movement or confrontation. The speed, shape, and behavior of the spheres, particularly their seeming ability to vanish or crumble mid-air, have led some to theorize that this was not a natural event at all, but a sky battle between unknown craft. This interpretation is further supported by similar reports from the 15th and 16th centuries, where leaflets often described miraculous or unexplainable spectacles in the sky. Regardless of the interpretation, be it religious, natural, or extraterrestrial, the 1566 Basel celestial phenomenon remains one of the most compelling and mysterious events in early modern European history. The fact that so many people witnessed and documented the event, including its unusual progression over several days, suggests that something extraordinary did occur. Whether a dramatic atmospheric anomaly or something far more mysterious, the skies over Basel in 1566 continue to provoke fascination and debate to this day. What happened to the statue of Athena at the Parthenon? Towering high above the city of Athens, the Parthenon remains one of the most iconic symbols of ancient Greece and classical civilization. With its magnificent Doric columns and marble foundations, the Parthenon endures as a testament to the ingenuity and artistry of 5th century BCE Athens. Yet, while the temple itself still stands, scarred by centuries but undeniably present, its most sacred and awe-inspiring centerpiece is gone. The statue of Athena Parthenos, the colossal gold and ivory figure of the city's patron goddess, has vanished. Once considered the crowning jewel of Athenian craftsmanship, the statue's fate remains one of antiquity's most enduring mysteries. Constructed between 447 BCE and 438 BCE, the Athena Parthenos was the work of the celebrated sculptor Phidias, commissioned during the golden age of Periclean Athens. Standing approximately 11.5 meters tall, the statue was chryselephantine, composed of ivory for Athena's skin and sheets of gold for her garments and armor, all supported by a wooden frame. The craftsmanship was extraordinary. Athena held a smaller statue of Nike, the goddess of victory, in her outstretched right hand, while in her left she gripped a massive spear. A detailed shield rested at her side, adorned with elaborate scenes from Greek myth, including the battles of the Amazons and the giants. A coiled serpent curled at her feet, symbolizing wisdom and protection. From her helmet to the soles of her sandals, the statue was rich in symbolism, power, and divine grandeur. Although the statue remained intact and revered for many years, its decline began in the 3rd century BCE. During this time, the tyrant Lascaris, in need of resources during a siege, ordered the statue stripped of its gold. The act was both sacrilegious and pragmatic, as the precious metal was melted down to mint coins. Though this desecration damaged the statue's magnificence, the structure itself may have remained standing. Some scholars suggest that after Lascaris's fall, efforts were made to recover the statue in gold leaf or substitute materials to restore its grandeur. Tragically, the statue may have faced its most destructive blow in the 2nd century BCE. Though there are no surviving textual records of such an event, archaeological evidence suggests a significant fire occurred in the Parthenon around 165 BCE. The fire was intense enough to damage the statue's base, leading scholars to believe that the wooden and ivory materials of the original Athena Parthenos were consumed in the blaze. Given the delicate and flammable nature of its construction, it is likely that the original statue did not survive this inferno. However, Athena may not have left her temple for long. In the aftermath of the fire, replicas and restorations of the statue began to appear in coins, miniature statues, and literary references. A new version of the Athena Parthenos was likely commissioned, reaffirming the cultural and spiritual significance of the goddess to the Athenians. Writers such as Pliny the Elder, Plutarch, and Pausanias describe the statue in their works, suggesting that a replacement was erected and admired for centuries afterward. The replica may not have matched Phidias's original in material or artistic achievement, but it continued to draw reverence and maintain Athena's presence within her sacred temple. The second Athena Parthenos stood for several more centuries, enduring into the twilight of the ancient pagan world. By the 5th century CE, the Roman Empire had shifted its religious allegiance to Christianity, and temples dedicated to pagan deities began to be repurposed or destroyed. The Parthenon itself was converted into a Christian church dedicated to the Virgin Mary. During this transitional period, many idols and symbols of the old gods were removed or destroyed. The philosopher Marinus of Samaria, writing in the Life of Proclus, cryptically noted that the statue had been removed by the Christian people who moved that which should not be moved, indicating that the statue was no longer in the Parthenon by the late 5th century. Where the statue went next remains one of history's unanswered questions. Some believe it was transported to Constantinople, the Byzantine capital, much like other famed statues of the classical world. The colossal statue of Zeus at Olympia, also attributed to Phidias, is thought to have suffered a similar fate. Supporting this theory is a 9th century account by the Byzantine scholar Arethus of Caesarea, who described a statue resembling Athena in the Forum of Constantine, among other masterpieces of ancient Greece. It is possible that this statue was the final incarnation, or even the original Athena Parthenos, relocated to protect it, or to showcase it, in the new center of imperial power. If the statue did reach Constantinople, it may have survived for centuries until the catastrophic events of the Fourth Crusade in 1204 CE, when the city was violently sacked by Western European armies. Countless treasures were looted or destroyed during the Crusaders' rampage through the city, and the Forum of Constantine, where the statue may have stood, was ravaged by fire and pillaging. If Athena's likeness survived until then, it likely met its end in the chaos of this brutal event. What makes the story of the Athena Parthenos so captivating is not only its artistic grandeur, but also the complete silence surrounding its disappearance. No detailed contemporary account survives to describe its final moments. A statue that once stood as the heart of a city, a symbol of divinity, wisdom and protection, simply vanished from the annals of history. While fragments of its design and scattered descriptions endure, the statue itself, whether burned, dismantled or stolen, has become a ghost of classical antiquity. The mystery of the Athena Parthenos serves as a solemn reminder of how even the most revered icons can fade into obscurity. Through war, religious change and time itself, an artwork once regarded as the pinnacle of human achievement vanished without a trace. Yet, in its absence, the legend of Athena Parthenos lives on, inspiring scholars, artists and storytellers to imagine the beauty and grandeur of what once stood at the heart of Athens. The mysterious Falcon Lake incident. Inarguably, a profoundly captivating and potentially one of the most reliable UFO sightings, not just in the year 1967, but conceivably throughout history, took place in the scenic landscapes of Canada. This extraordinary event was not only remarkable for its time, but has also left a lasting imprint on the annals of UFO encounters. The incident that took place on the 20th of May 1967, commonly known as the Michalak encounter, continues to be a topic of interest and investigation in present times. On that particular day, Stefan Michalak, a 51-year-old mechanic, was exploring the rugged and dense woodlands bordering Falcon Lake in pursuit of rare, valuable or intriguing minerals. This expedition took place within the confines of Whiteshell Provincial Park in the Manitoba region of Canada, a significant distance of approximately 80 miles from his residence in Winnipeg. While engrossed in examining what he believed to be a piece of quartz crystal, a sudden uproar from the surrounding wildlife captured his attention. Gazing skyward, Stefan observed two luminous red, oval-shaped entities through the canopy of trees, swiftly advancing towards him. Upon closer inspection, he noticed the unusual speed at which these objects were approaching, escalating the intrigue of the encounter. The unexpected convergence of wildlife commotion and the emergence of the mysterious glowing shapes infused a sense of curiosity and mild apprehension within Stefan, prompting a mixed rush of emotions. The surreal nature of the sighting and the swift movement of the objects left him momentarily stunned, his mind contemplating the possible origins and intentions of these mysterious visitors. An atmosphere of both wonder and caution enveloped Stefan. As he gazed ahead, observing the scene unfold before him, one of the objects descended gracefully, finally settling on a cluster of rugged rocks situated roughly 160 feet away from his vantage point. Simultaneously, the second object remained suspended above him at a distance of about 15 feet, seemingly in perfect equilibrium. Suddenly, without warning, it swiftly ascended into the sky, propelled by an unseen force, disappearing into the vast expanse above. In a secluded spot on the rocks, the mysterious object maintained its position, mirroring the stillness of Michalak, who was observant of the unfolding events. A sensation of intense warmth enveloped the air, creating an unusual ambience around him. The object underwent a remarkable transformation, a spectacle that captivated Michalak's attention as it cycled through a series of color changes, initially crimson, then transitioning to a somber grey, before finally settling into a radiant hue resembling hot stainless steel embellished with a golden aura. In his later account, Michalak described the door of the craft as having a unique combination of being square yet with rounded edges, further detailing how a vibrant purple light emanated from within the mysterious object. Additionally, he vividly recounted experiencing waves of warm air enveloping him and the unmistakable scent of sulfur lingering in the air. The mention of the sulfur smell holds particular significance, as it is a common element noticed in various encounters of close extraterrestrial contact. This observation not only adds to the authenticity of his experience, but also aligns with recurring themes in similar reports of such encounters. As he approached the mysterious craft, a distinct buzzing noise, reminiscent of a rapid-running miniature electric motor, resonated in his ears. The closer he moved, the clearer the voices became, and he gradually discerned that they were indeed human, albeit with extremely high pitches. The atmosphere around the craft seemed to hum with an otherworldly energy, intensifying his curiosity. As he inched closer, the voices grew in clarity, eventually revealing their human quality, albeit significantly high-pitched. In a bid to establish communication, he vocalized in a variety of languages, spanning from English and Russian to French, Italian, and Ukrainian. However, his calls remained unanswered. Drawing nearer to the mysterious vessel, he found himself in such proximity that he could almost feel its surface. Equipping himself with the protective eyewear typically utilized for chiseling rocks, he resolved to peer inside the craft. With a deep breath, he cautiously extended his head through the entrance, intrigued by what lay beyond. The mysterious allure of the alien structure beckoned him, stirring a mix of apprehension and curiosity within him. In the midst of his surroundings, a complex network of vibrant lights awaited him, some flickering incessantly. Among them were straight beams traversing both horizontal and diagonal paths. As he observed, the lights seemed to lack any discernible arrangement or order, operating in what he perceived as a haphazard manner. Shifting his focus downward, he scrutinized the floor, detecting a seamless surface without any visible seams or connections to the overhead walls. This peculiar lack of distinct boundaries is a recurring detail often noted in numerous encounters involving unidentified flying objects. The spacecraft's tilting movement resulted in one of its machines coming into contact with the man's chest, causing him to experience an immediate and intense searing pain across his torso. What alarmed him even more was the fact that his glove had partially melted from his hand and his shirt had caught fire. In response, he quickly moved away from the craft, shedding the burning shirt in the process. At that moment, he also observed that the craft had lifted slightly off the ground. Suddenly, a rush of hot air enveloped him, and just as swiftly as it had appeared, the object ascended rapidly into the sky. This series of events left him with a mixture of physical discomfort and awe at the disappearing craft. Upon reflection, Michalak paused to compose himself, his mind clouded with bewilderment and searing agony as he gradually made his way towards his parked vehicle situated along the highway. His destination was Misericordia Hospital, where he sought treatment for the severe burns that plagued his chest. After seeking medical assistance, he proceeded to inform the Royal Canadian Mounted Police about the incident, although their response was limited to compiling a basic report, offering minimal assistance in addressing the situation. Upon the emergence of the incident in the local media and radio broadcasts, a plethora of UFO investigators were swiftly drawn to the scene, driven by a keen interest to engage with Michalak and delve deeper into the mysterious occurrence. Notably, Michalak bore a peculiar checkered burn mark on his chest, suspected to have been sustained during his contact with the machinery inside the unidentified object. In the aftermath, he grappled with severe illness for an extended period, marked by persistent bouts of intense nausea and the struggle to retain any form of sustenance. Furthermore, several weeks later, Michalak began to manifest distressing symptoms, including painful blisters on his torso and an unusual rash that traced a distinct V-shaped pattern from his ears down to his chest. The lingering effects of the encounter continued to afflict Michalak long after the initial incident, portraying a complex and enduring narrative of his ordeal. Throughout the next several weeks, despite experiencing a return to normal health overall, the individual continued to face intermittent health setbacks. A notable incident occurred in September of 1967, when he once again sought medical attention due to the emergence of peculiar, sizable spots on his torso. Additionally, he reported experiencing a pronounced sensation of heat and discomfort around his neck and chest region. These symptoms were accompanied by sporadic instances of lightheadedness and significant swelling in the joints of his hands. This ongoing struggle with health issues highlighted the complexity and unpredictability of his condition during this period. Despite temporary periods of improvement, the individual faced persistent challenges and fluctuations in his well-being, underscoring the need for continued monitoring and care. Following a period of initial disinterest in his account, Michalak's claims gained traction due to mounting pressure from UFO researchers and public intrigue, prompting the RCMP and the Canadian Air Force to undertake a more thorough investigation. As the inquiry progressed, Michalak, accompanied by investigators and an electrical engineer, successfully pinpointed the exact location of the incident. To the astonishment of all involved, a distinct and unmistakable outline of the ship was discovered imprinted on the ground, becoming a pivotal piece of tangible evidence in the case's unfolding narrative. This unexpected turn of events not only heightened the seriousness of the investigation, but also fueled further curiosity and speculation among both the authorities and the wider community following the case. In addition to retrieving the charred shirt torn from his back by Michalak upon being propelled from the spacecraft, efforts were made to collect any remaining fragments. Observers also noted a concerning phenomenon in the area surrounding the craft's touchdown site. The trees and vegetation appeared to be desiccated and lifeless, indicating a significant impact on the immediate environment. This occurrence raised questions about the potential environmental repercussions of the craft's presence, hinting at the possibility of a more profound ecological disturbance than initially perceived. The occurrence at Falcon Lake ultimately lingers as a mystery, perpetuating intrigue and speculation within UFO research circles. Despite the lack of definitive answers, a significant number of experts in the field consider Stefan Michalak to be a highly credible observer, viewing his account as both genuine and sincere. Tragically, Michalak's passing transpired in October 1999, precisely 32 years subsequent to the mysterious encounter, at the age of 83. The giant pyramid seen above Washington. In December 2018, a remarkable event unfolded in the skies above one of the most secure and well-known locations on Earth, the Pentagon. According to numerous eyewitness accounts, a large, pyramid-shaped object was seen hovering above the Pentagon during the night, seemingly defying gravity and the usual understanding of aerial technology. This mysterious object was reportedly caught on camera from various angles by multiple witnesses, and the footage soon found its way to social media platforms, where it quickly went viral. The event was discussed widely, with many speculating about the origin and purpose of the UFO. However, in the years since the sighting, especially by 2024, much of the footage and photographic evidence has become increasingly difficult to find, leading some to suggest that the majority of this evidence has been quietly deleted from the internet, raising suspicions about a potential cover-up. The pyramid-shaped UFO spotted above the Pentagon in 2018 immediately stood out due to both its unusual shape and its location. The object was described as being massive in size, stationary, and hovering directly above the Pentagon, a symbol of US military power. Multiple reports stated that the object was either emitting a faint glow or reflecting light from the surrounding city. The event took place at night, making the illumination of the object even more conspicuous against the dark sky. What made this particular UFO sighting stand out even more was the number of angles from which the object was reportedly filmed. Various witnesses across different parts of Washington, D.C. and Northern Virginia captured images and videos of the object from their phones, providing multiple perspectives of the event. These videos circulated widely on social media platforms like Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. The pyramid shape of the UFO led to a flurry of speculation online, with theories ranging from experimental military technology to extraterrestrial visitors. For a brief time, the Pentagon UFO became a viral sensation, attracting the attention of not only UFO enthusiasts, but also mainstream media. Some news outlets covered the sighting, though coverage was generally cautious, focusing more on the strange nature of the event rather than offering any definitive explanation. Initial attempts by skeptics to debunk the footage were met with difficulty, as the object did not conform to conventional explanations like weather balloons, drones, or aircraft. Despite the initial excitement surrounding the pyramid-shaped UFO sighting, by 2024, finding the original videos and images has become an increasingly difficult task. Searches for footage on popular video-sharing platforms and social media yield few results, and many of the original posts appear to have been taken down. Even on discussion forums like Reddit and UFO-specific websites, references to the event are often accompanied by broken links or claims that videos have been removed. This slow disappearance of evidence has sparked speculation that the footage may have been deliberately suppressed or deleted. While it is not uncommon for some content to be removed from the internet for various reasons, such as copyright issues or inactivity, the near-total erasure of evidence related to such a significant sighting has raised eyebrows. Many UFO enthusiasts have pointed to this as a potential cover-up, suggesting that authorities may have acted to suppress the evidence due to the sensitive location of the sighting or because the object represented advanced technology that needed to remain classified. The idea that much of the footage has been erased from the internet adds a layer of intrigue to the event. In today's hyper-connected world, it is exceedingly rare for something as public as a UFO sighting, especially one witnessed and filmed by multiple people, to effectively disappear. The difficulty in locating footage of the pyramid-shaped UFO has given rise to theories that government agencies or private contractors may have intervened to remove the content. With the footage of the event now scarce, speculation has intensified about what really happened over the Pentagon in December 2018. One popular theory is that the object was an advanced piece of military technology, possibly part of a secretive program to develop new types of aircraft or defense systems. The Pentagon has long been associated with clandestine research and development projects, and some believe that the pyramid-shaped UFO was a prototype of a new craft that had not yet been disclosed to the public. According to this theory, the sudden removal of the footage is part of an effort to maintain secrecy surrounding this technology. Another theory, more favored by UFO enthusiasts, is that the object was not of earthly origin, but rather an extraterrestrial craft. The pyramid shape, which is less common in UFO sightings than the traditional saucer or triangular shapes, has led some to suggest that the object may represent a type of advanced technology that has not been widely encountered before. Advocates of this theory point to the location of the sighting, the Pentagon, as potentially significant. If advanced visitors were interested in observing human military power or conducting reconnaissance, the Pentagon would be a logical place for such an observation. Others have suggested that the object might have been part of a joint human extraterrestrial project. This theory, often dismissed as too speculative, posits that secret collaborations between government agencies and alien visitors could be taking place, and that the pyramid-shaped object was one manifestation of this cooperation. According to this line of thinking, the removal of footage would be necessary to prevent the public from becoming aware of such activities. The difficulty in finding images and footage of the 2018 Pentagon UFO has led many to question whether a deliberate effort has been made to erase this event from public memory. While some point to technical reasons for the disappearance, such as social media platforms automatically deleting old posts or users voluntarily removing content, others see a more deliberate hand at work. The fact that footage of a large, pyramid-shaped object hovering above one of the most secure buildings in the world is now nearly impossible to find only deepens the sense that something is being hidden. The pyramids located in Egypt have consistently been the subject of countless ideas and theories. Since their first discovery, scientists and scholars have made ongoing efforts to unravel the mysterious nature of their construction. Recently, there has been a disclosure of KGB files holding fascinating information about a celestial being that was recovered from inside the Great Pyramid. Dr. Viktor Ivanovich, a science advisor for an advanced propulsion system, has uncovered significant information concerning a secretive project. Dr. Ivanovich revealed that the KGB deployed covert operatives within the Egyptian government. These operatives recorded phone conversations related to the renowned pyramids with the intention of conducting surveillance. The freshly disclosed files provide insight into a fascinating event in history, indicating an exceptional correlation between a divine entity and the ancient Egyptians. Dr. Viktor Ivanovich, renowned for his profound knowledge in cutting-edge propulsion systems, revealed extraordinary revelations on the clandestine operation. In 1960, Dr. Ivanovich made a key discovery involving Sami Sharif, the Egyptian Minister of Presidential Affairs. A fascinating Egyptian tape recording was extensively featured during the airing of the television series Secret KGB Files. This intriguing recording, originating from July 24, 1961, was presented during the show, providing valuable insights into a significant historical event. The individuals involved in the mission reportedly encountered a well-preserved ancient extraterrestrial in 1961. The objective of the project involved the participation of numerous Egyptologists from the Soviet Academy of Sciences, as well as scientists and military professionals. Sami Sharaf, a trusted associate of President Gamal Abdel Nasser of Egypt, commanded the squad. The initial mention of this remarkable narrative occurred during the mission in the video, which was later described as a covert Russian expedition conducted in Egypt in 1961. The objective of the mission was to reveal the tomb of the visitor. The documentary, titled The Secret KGB Files, was initially presented to the public in 1998 by the United States. The documentary states that there is a film that provides evidence of a segment of the classified mission. The film depicting the covert operation was released by a Russian intermediary who asserts to have acquired it from the classified archives of the KGB. The video, presented in black and white, depicts Soviet workers retrieving what seems to be a mummified alien from a sarcophagus found in a tomb on the Giza plateau. Forensic specialists, as reported by the news channel who hosted the video, have verified the video's veracity. They claim to have acquired the film from Russian insiders and assert that it originates from the vaults of the KGB. Testimonies from senior officials appear to support the claim that the sarcophagus, retrieved by Russian military forces, indeed held the remains of an extraterrestrial entity. Dr. Ivanovich provides his expertise as an astrophysicist and neurologist and discloses that the presence of this mysterious being originated from the celestial realm and shared their exceptional wisdom and knowledge with the people of Earth before eventually leaving. In addition, Dr. Ivanovich reveals a surprising revelation that one of these celestial beings actually passed away on our planet. In order to pay tribute to and safeguard the remembrance of this divine being, a hidden tomb of the highest level of confidentiality was covertly built inside the majestic pyramid. Remarkably, senior Egyptian officials recently revealed this astonishing fact during a private telephone discussion. Since then, several researchers have endeavored to find the exact location of the hidden burial chamber. Reports indicate that Egyptian authorities, in collaboration with officials from many nations, have effectively retrieved the creature from the pyramid and securely stored it in a heavily fortified location. Secret 30-foot chamber found inside the Great Pyramid. The pyramids of Egypt, especially the Great Pyramids of Giza, stand as some of the most iconic and mysterious structures in human history. Currently, historians and experts believe that they were built during the Old Kingdom period, and these monumental structures have fascinated archaeologists and the general public for centuries. Despite extensive study and numerous theories, the pyramids remain shrouded in mystery. The sheer precision and scale of the pyramids are among the primary reasons they remain unexplained. The Great Pyramid of Giza, for instance, was constructed with such accuracy that the sides of the base have an average error of just 58 millimeters in length. The alignment of the pyramid to the cardinal points is also remarkably precise, deviating only slightly from true north. Achieving this level of accuracy would be challenging even with modern technology, yet the ancient Egyptians accomplished it using tools made of stone, copper, and bronze. The Great Pyramid has long captivated researchers, scientists, and amateur Egyptologists. Currently, emerging technologies are aiding scientists in gaining a deeper understanding of the internal composition of the pyramid. Recently, researchers have utilized non-invasive technologies to uncover a 30-foot passageway inside the pyramid. While the purpose of the secret realm remains unknown to them, they hold the belief that there could be similar spaces in existence. In the 19th century, scientists commenced the process of exhuming and excavating Egyptian pyramids. It was discovered that architects intentionally created the pyramids with inside chambers in order to safeguard the pharaohs and their valuable possessions from potential thieves. Excavating the interior of a pyramid posed a significant threat of causing irreparable damage to its structure. Consequently, for over 100 years, researchers were left to conjecture about the contents concealed within. Nevertheless, in the past few decades, non-destructive methods like cosmic ray detectors and infrared thermography have been assisting scholars in examining pyramids without inflicting harm. A concealed 30-foot tunnel was further elucidated in a 2023 study published in the scientific journal Nature by an international consortium of academics hailing from Egypt, France, and Japan. The corridor has a width of approximately 6 feet and is located above the main entrance on the north side of the pyramid. The study team, affiliated with the Scan Pyramids project, initially discovered the existence of a corridor and an additional vacant area referred to as the Big Void in 2016 and 2017 respectively. The architects of the pyramids likely constructed the corridor with the intention of evenly distributing the weight and therefore safeguarding the pyramid against collapse. The experts have not entered the tunnel for thousands of years, but they assume that the design was intentional. The content beyond the end of the corridor is uncertain. The Scan Pyramids teams employed a divide-and-conquer strategy in order to get insight into the interior of the pyramid. 2 Japanese teams entered familiar chambers located beneath the corridor in order to gain a more comprehensive understanding of its structure. A team of French individuals operated externally. Each individual utilized a cosmic ray muon detector of their own to ascertain the quantity of muons that were absorbed by the building. A decreased number of muons would suggest that the rock possesses a substantial mass and high density. A greater intensity of rays indicated the absence of any obstructions hindering their passage. Once the teams analyzed their findings and assessed the size of the area, they were authorized to insert an endoscopic camera into the corridor through a narrow opening. The laborers responsible for constructing the pyramid were the final individuals to have access to the corridor's interior. Nevertheless, the camera footage offered a unique opportunity to see inside the concealed chamber and unveiled its distinctive design. Launched in 2015, this project aimed to use advanced, non-invasive technologies to explore the internal structures of Egypt's ancient pyramids without causing damage to these precious monuments. The Scan Pyramids team employed several cutting-edge technologies to detect the hidden voids. The primary method was muon tomography, which uses cosmic rays to create images of the pyramid's interior. Muons are subatomic particles that can penetrate deep into solid materials. By placing detectors inside and outside the pyramid, scientists can measure the muon flux and create a 3-dimensional map of its internal structure. Differences in muon density reveal the presence of voids or less dense areas within the pyramid. In addition to the Big Void, the Scan Pyramids team identified several smaller voids and anomalies. These include a corridor-like void behind the chevrons on the north face of the pyramid and a smaller cavity near the pyramid's entrance. These discoveries indicate that the pyramid's internal structure is more complex than previously thought and may contain additional hidden chambers and passageways. One of the most intriguing questions raised by the discovery of the hidden voids is their role in the pyramid's construction. Some researchers suggest that these voids may have been used to reduce the weight of the stone blocks above the Grand Gallery and other critical areas, preventing structural collapse. Alternatively, they could have served as temporary construction spaces or areas for workers to maneuver large blocks into place. The construction of the pyramids required a massive labor force, yet the logistics of assembling and maintaining such a workforce remain unclear. Estimates suggest that tens of thousands of workers were needed, but how they were organized, housed, sustained, and if this was even what happened during the pyramid's construction is still a topic of debate. The exact methods of quarrying, transporting and assembling the massive stone blocks, some weighing as much as 80 tons, add another layer of complexity to the mystery. The pyramid's precise alignment with celestial bodies indicates an advanced understanding of astronomy. The Great Pyramid, for example, is aligned with remarkable accuracy to the cardinal points and the stars of Orion's belt. This suggests that the ancient Egyptians had sophisticated knowledge of the stars and their movements. The question remains how this knowledge was acquired and applied with such precision. The design and construction of the pyramids required advanced mathematical knowledge. The dimensions of the Great Pyramid, for instance, embody the golden ratio and demonstrate an understanding of pi. The fact that such mathematical concepts were used in construction long before they were formally documented in other cultures suggests that the Egyptians had a level of mathematical sophistication that is not fully understood. One of the most puzzling aspects of the pyramids is the lack of detailed contemporary records explaining their construction. While there are inscriptions and documents that provide some information about the pharaohs who commissioned the pyramids, there is little in the way of detailed engineering plans or records of the construction process. This absence of documentation makes it difficult to understand the methods and technologies used by the builders. The passage of millennia has likely resulted in the loss of crucial knowledge about the construction techniques and purposes of the pyramids. Natural degradation, human activity, and historical upheavals have contributed to the erosion of records and artifacts that might have explained these mysteries. What remains are the structures themselves and a few scattered clues, leaving much to speculation and interpretation. One of the more controversial theories is that the pyramids were built with the assistance of advanced beings or a lost civilization. Proponents of this theory argue that the precision, scale, and advanced knowledge required to build the pyramids exceed the capabilities of ancient human societies. While this theory lacks empirical evidence and is generally dismissed by the scientific community, it highlights the sense of wonder and disbelief that the pyramids inspire. Another theory posits that the ancient Egyptians possessed advanced technology that has since been lost to history. This could include sophisticated tools or techniques for moving and assembling large stone blocks. The lack of physical evidence for such technology means this theory remains speculative, but it underscores the possibility that there are aspects of ancient Egyptian society that we have yet to discover or understand. The pyramids of Egypt, especially the Great Pyramids of Giza, remain shrouded in mystery for several reasons. The precision and scale of their construction, the advanced knowledge of astronomy and mathematics required, the lack of detailed historical documentation, and the numerous theories and speculations all contribute to their mysterious nature. These ancient monuments stand as testaments to the ingenuity and capabilities of the ancient Egyptians, and their mysteries continue to captivate the imagination. As technology advances and new discoveries are made, we may come closer to understanding the full story behind the pyramids, but for now, they remain one of history's greatest mysteries. Deep within the dense forests, a man stumbled upon a giant wall, a mysterious structure that has sparked intrigue and speculation. The story begins with a man, an avid hiker and amateur archaeologist who frequently explored the Siberian wilderness. On a particularly long expedition in the summer, the man said that he ventured deeper into the forest than ever before. As he navigated through the thick underbrush and towering trees, he came across something utterly unexpected, a massive wall, partially obscured by vegetation but unmistakably artificial in its construction. The wall, which many have said is stretching over a mile in length and standing approximately 20 meters high, appeared to be made of large, tightly fitted stones. Despite the passage of time, the structure showed remarkable integrity, with only minor signs of weathering and erosion. The stones suggest a level of engineering sophistication that seemed incongruous with the known history of the region. The man's discovery quickly attracted attention. After documenting his find with photographs and videos, he shared the information with social media groups in order to get to the bottom of the mysterious structure. A team of archaeologists and historians was assembled to investigate the site, hoping to uncover the origins and purpose of the mysterious wall. The initial examination revealed several intriguing aspects. The discovery of the wall has given rise to numerous theories and speculations. Megalithic stone walls are renowned for their construction techniques, which often involve the precise cutting and fitting of massive stones. Some of these stones weigh several tons, and their placement would have required significant manpower and advanced engineering skills. The stones are typically fitted together with such precision that a knife blade cannot be inserted between them. Some researchers believe that certain megalithic walls were constructed as part of religious or ceremonial sites. The precise alignments and orientations of the stones in relation to astronomical events suggest that these structures may have had significant cultural and spiritual importance. The presence of similar construction techniques and architectural styles in different parts of the world raises questions about cultural interconnections and the spread of knowledge. While it is unlikely that these ancient societies had direct contact with each other, the similarities in their constructions suggest parallel developments in engineering and architecture. This phenomenon could be attributed to shared human ingenuity and the universal challenges of building durable structures. One of the most prominent theories suggests that the wall is the remnant of an ancient civilization previously unknown to historians. This civilization, perhaps contemporaneous with or even predating known cultures such as the Scythians or the Mongols, might have constructed the wall for defensive purposes, as a territorial marker, or for ceremonial use. The scale and sophistication of the construction imply a society with advanced engineering capabilities and organizational skills. Some researchers have proposed that the wall could be a natural formation, the result of unique geological processes, or possibly even placed there. They argue that the regularity of the stones and their arrangement could be explained by natural fractures and weathering patterns. However, the precision of the construction and the presence of inscriptions make this theory less convincing to many researchers. In the realm of more speculative theories, some have suggested that the wall could be evidence of extraterrestrial influence. Proponents of this idea point to the inexplicable engineering techniques and the use of non-local materials as indicators that the wall might have been constructed with the assistance of or inspired by visitors. While this theory captures the imagination, it lacks empirical support and is generally not favored by the scientific community. The discovery of the giant wall in Siberia has significant implications for our understanding of history and archaeology. If the wall is indeed the product of an ancient civilization, its discovery could necessitate a re-evaluation of the history of human settlement and development in Siberia. It might reveal new insights into migration patterns, technological advancements, and cultural exchanges in prehistoric times. Such a finding would enrich our understanding of human history and the complexities of early civilizations. The investigation of the wall has also highlighted the importance of integrating modern technology with traditional archaeological methods. Techniques such as ground-penetrating radar, 3D imaging, and drone surveys have been employed to explore the site more comprehensively, allowing researchers to gather detailed data without intrusive excavation. These advancements could revolutionize the field of archaeology, enabling more precise and less invasive exploration of historical sites. This man found 2 mysterious stone spheres. People began speculating about the 2 enormous stone spheres that a man had recently discovered concealed inside a forest. Many explanations have already been offered for what they are, such as being space junk or remnants of an extinct society. Head of the Space Policy Institute scientist Ivan Moiseev clarified that NASA can detect asteroids as small as 2 meters, which is roughly the size of these stone balls. He added that if these had really fallen from space, the Space Institute would have found evidence of them passing through the atmosphere. Alexander Ivanov, the director of the Center for Astronomy and Cosmonautics, agreed with this notion. It has been stated that shortly after their discovery, individuals dressed in military uniforms hit them with hammers. There is currently very little information available on them, but according to one user, the people in question are employed by the local forest service, and they damaged the stone spheres as soon as they learned about them. One of the workers said that they did this in order to avoid violations of environmental legislation. Those who live nearby and were aware of the finding opposed this, arguing that the city should have taken them in for inspection or allowed the public to view them. Only a few websites have currently featured this subject, and it's unclear exactly when they were found and why they were destroyed. It's interesting to note that this stone ball reminded several people of Costa Rica's stone spheres. The stone balls have been mentioned numerous times throughout history, and while there is still disagreement on their provenance and their function, Some archaeologists have hypothesized that they served as representations of solar systems. These spheres, which are dispersed across Costa Rica's jungles, were first discovered in the Teraba River Delta and have since been located as far north as the Estrella Valley and as far south as the mouth of the Coto Colorado River. The objects were enormous, with most measuring up to 2 meters in diameter and weighing over 16 tons, so it doesn't seem like a simple task. It was once thought that these spheres had a function in that they matched constellations in the sky, and that these tails reflected the constellation from which the gods had come, according to ancient Costa Rican mythology and evidence uncovered by archaeologists. According to amateur scholars who have spent countless years studying these stones, the spheres may have functioned as an early star chart, representing a very particular constellation as described by the ancient gods in an effort to reveal to humankind their home planet when the time was right. Unfortunately, after being found, the Costa Rican stone spheres were either removed from their original site by archaeologists and researchers or taken by treasure seekers who thought the spheres held gold treasures that could be sold on markets, precious antiques, or ancient artifacts. Because of this, the actual nature and archaeological context of the dispersed spheres are dubious at best. While a small number of stones may still remain in their original locations, hundreds more have either been completely destroyed, taken, or swept away by regional flooding. Despite the potential value of the remaining stones in terms of archaeological context and discovery, the discovery has, for some odd reason, remained mostly unrecognized and unacknowledged since it was made back in the 1940s. Curiously, residents in several parts of Brazil have claimed to have found these in undeveloped regions, only to learn that they had been taken out soon after. Stories such as these have led some people to speculate that the true origins of the spheres are unknown and that we will never know their true purpose until more investigation can be done. Several people have taken a different approach and suggested that these objects must be of special interest because officials are flown in to investigate and assess the damage shortly after reports of strange objects making contact with the ground. This is not the first time that strange objects have been observed making contact with the ground. Some witnesses who were in the area when these objects made contact with the ground have offered some intriguing theories. They also claim to have seen mysterious lights flashing moments before the objects made contact with the ground, and to have even had a close-up look at the object when it landed a few hundred meters away. The first people on the scene have stated that they are unable to identify the object in issue, but they have noted that the military is nearby and that they will be removing it for everyone's safety. This has occurred in a number of nations, including the UK, Mexico, Brazil, Australia, and the United States. Soon after seeing these items, witnesses expressed confusion over the reason behind the large number of authorities that they saw in the area and stated that the mysterious lights that were observed a few days prior to the object's descent could not be explained by a satellite or meteorite. According to amateur researchers, dense forests appear to be the location of a diverse spectrum of unexplained sightings, as well as unusual encounters that typically remain unexplained. Many people have reported seeing unusual occurrences in these areas over the years, but the lack of explanations has just let people's imaginations run wild. The Sabu disk, also known as the schist disk, is one of the most mysterious artifacts discovered in ancient Egypt. Found in the tomb of Sabu, the mysterious artifact has puzzled archaeologists and historians since its discovery by British Egyptologist Walter Bryan Emery in 1936. Despite its significance, there is a scarcity of reliable sources and comprehensive studies on this artifact, leaving many questions about its purpose and origin unanswered. The Mastaba tomb comprises 7 chambers, and the disk was discovered in Room E, the primary burial chamber, positioned centrally and in close proximity to the remains of Sabu, who was initially interred in a wooden coffin. The issue that many researchers have encountered is the complete absence of trustworthy sources regarding the investigation of this object. The most reliable information that can be found is a few conflicting websites. The artifact is made of a material known as schist, a type of metamorphic rock, and measures approximately 61 centimeters or 24 inches in diameter. Its shape is unique and complex, resembling a 3-lobed propeller or a wheel with curved triangular blades radiating from a central hub. Despite the initial excitement surrounding its discovery, there is a notable lack of detailed scholarly research and reliable sources on the Sabu disk. The primary source of information that remains is the excavation reports by Emery, which provide only a basic description and few insights into its potential use. Subsequent references to the disk in academic literature are sparse and often speculative, reflecting the broader challenges in studying and interpreting this enigmatic object. Several theories have been proposed to explain the function of the Sabu disk, although none have been conclusively proven. At the Airbus Research Centre, replicas of the disk were produced utilizing a 3D printer, and the tangible characteristics of the disk were analyzed. The duplicates possessed aerodynamic characteristics and could function as a flying disk. The choice of schist as the material for the disk is significant. Schist is a durable and relatively lightweight stone, allowing for the construction of an object that is both strong and potentially capable of withstanding aerodynamic forces. The weight distribution of the disk, with its central hub and evenly spaced lobes, could theoretically contribute to stable rotational dynamics. If the Sabu disk were to be spun rapidly, the shape of the lobes could create differential air pressure, similar to the principles that allow modern helicopter blades to generate lift. The central hub could serve as a mounting point or axis of rotation, allowing the disk to spin smoothly and maintain stability in flight. The aerodynamic profile of the lobes suggests that they could cut through the air efficiently, reducing drag and enhancing lift. The ancient Egyptians are known for their remarkable achievements in engineering and architecture. The construction of the pyramids, sophisticated irrigation systems, and precise astronomical alignments of their monuments all demonstrate advanced technological capabilities. The possibility that they experimented with aerodynamic principles is not entirely far-fetched, given their innovative spirit and meticulous observational skills. Some scholars suggest that the Sabu disk might symbolize flight or celestial phenomena. Ancient Egyptian culture placed significant emphasis on the skies and celestial bodies, which were closely linked to their religious beliefs and practices. The disk could have been an artistic representation of their understanding of flight, or a ceremonial object intended to invoke the power of the gods associated with the sky and air. Modern experimental archaeologists have attempted to recreate the Sabu disk using similar materials and techniques available to ancient Egyptians. These experiments have shown that the disk, when spun, exhibits stable rotational behavior and generates lift. While these findings do not conclusively prove that the disk was intended as a flying object, they demonstrate its potential aerodynamic properties. One of the main challenges to the flying disk hypothesis is the lack of contextual evidence. The Sabu disk was discovered in a tomb, alongside other funerary artifacts. There are no contemporary records or inscriptions that explicitly describe its use or function as a flying object. The absence of direct evidence makes it difficult to confirm any theory definitively. Another theory suggests that the disk was a ceremonial object, possibly used in religious or ritualistic contexts. The intricate design and craftsmanship indicate it could have held symbolic significance, perhaps representing the solar disk or other celestial phenomena important in ancient Egyptian cosmology. Another theory posits that the Sabu disk was part of an ancient mechanical device. Some researchers have speculated that it might have been a component of a water pump or a primitive fan, although there is no direct evidence to support these claims. The precision and symmetry of the disk suggest it could have been part of a sophisticated mechanism. A more mundane explanation is that the disk was a spinning top or a toy used for entertainment or educational purposes. However, the complexity and size of the object make this theory less convincing. In addition to functional theories, the Sabu disk has also been interpreted symbolically. Some scholars suggest it may represent the technological and artistic prowess of early dynastic Egypt, reflecting the society's advanced understanding of geometry and design. Others believe it could symbolize power and authority, given its association with a royal tomb. As mentioned, one of the main challenges in interpreting the Sabu disk is the lack of contextual information. Emery's reports provide limited details about the disk's exact location within the tomb, its relationship to other artifacts, and its potential use. Without this contextual data, it is difficult to draw definitive conclusions about its purpose and significance. The disk itself is the only known example of its kind, making comparative analysis impossible. The absence of similar artifacts from the same period hinders efforts to understand its function and significance. Additionally, the fragmentary nature of the evidence leaves room for considerable speculation and debate. The study of the Sabu disk has been constrained by methodological limitations. Early archaeological techniques lacked the precision and technological capabilities of modern methods, resulting in incomplete documentation and analysis. Furthermore, the artifact has not been subjected to comprehensive scientific testing, such as materials analysis or experimental archaeology, which could provide valuable insights into its construction and use. The mystery of the Sabu disk underscores the importance of continued research and exploration in archaeology. Advances in technology and methodology hold the potential to unlock new insights and solve long-standing puzzles. Collaborative efforts between archaeologists, historians, and scientists could lead to a more comprehensive understanding of this mysterious artifact and its place within the broader context of ancient Egyptian civilization. As of right now, the Sabu disk remains one of the most intriguing and mysterious artifacts from ancient Egypt. The scarcity of reliable sources and detailed studies has left many questions about its purpose and origin unanswered. While various theories have been proposed, the lack of conclusive evidence continues to fuel speculation and debate. The study of the Sabu disk highlights the challenges and opportunities in archaeology, emphasizing the need for ongoing research and the application of advanced techniques to uncover the secrets of our past. The mysterious Tuli Papyrus. The Tuli Papyrus is one of the most intriguing and controversial documents in the study of ancient Egyptian history. Allegedly, it describes a series of mysterious and possibly extraterrestrial events witnessed by the pharaoh Thutmose III around 1480 BCE. Despite its captivating content, the authenticity and provenance of the Tuli Papyrus remain subjects of intense debate among historians, archaeologists, and UFO researchers. The Tuli Papyrus is named after Alberto Tuli, a former director of the Vatican's Egyptian Museum, who reportedly discovered the document in the 1930s in an antique shop in Cairo. According to accounts, Tuli could not afford to purchase the papyrus, but he was allowed to make a copy. This copy, supplemented by translations and annotations, forms the basis of what is now known as the Tuli Papyrus. The original papyrus has never been located, and the available information is based on the transcription allegedly made by Tuli. The document resurfaced in the 1950s when it was translated by Prince Boris de Rachwiltz, an Italian Egyptologist. His translation described extraordinary phenomena, which has since captivated UFO theorists and skeptics alike. The text of the Tuli Papyrus is often cited as an early account of unidentified flying objects. According to the translation, the papyrus describes a circle of fire that appeared in the sky, emitting a foul odor and causing great concern among the observers. The phenomenon reportedly occurred during the reign of Thutmose III, and the text recounts multiple sightings over several days. Assuming the Tuli Papyrus is genuine, its historical significance is profound. The document offers a rare glimpse into the intersection of religion, science, and the supernatural in ancient Egyptian society. The Tuli Papyrus serves as a corroborative document that aligns with other historical records from Thutmose III's reign. Known as one of Egypt's most successful pharaohs, Thutmose III expanded the empire through military conquests and monumental building projects. The papyrus adds a new dimension to his legacy, suggesting that his reign was also marked by remarkable celestial events. The papyrus underscores the centrality of religion in ancient Egyptian life. The described response to the aerial phenomena reflects the deeply held belief that the gods influenced natural and supernatural events. This document enriches our understanding of how the ancient Egyptians sought to comprehend and react to extraordinary occurrences, blending observation with religious interpretation. One of the most intriguing aspects of the Tuli Papyrus is its potential implications for unidentified objects and how they had an impact on religion. Proponents of this theory argue that advanced beings visited Earth in antiquity, influencing human cultures and technologies. The detailed descriptions of circles of fire and their behavior in the sky could be interpreted as evidence of advanced, non-terrestrial technology witnessed by the ancient Egyptians. If we accept the Tuli Papyrus as a genuine record, The descriptions of the phenomena suggest advanced technology far beyond the capabilities of ancient civilizations. The brightness, movement patterns, and duration of the sightings indicate controlled, intelligent entities. This raises the possibility that ancient Egypt experienced direct or indirect contact with extraterrestrial beings. The impact of these sightings on Egyptian culture, as recorded in the papyrus, supports the idea that such encounters could have shaped religious and mythological narratives. The reverence and fear associated with the phenomena might have reinforced beliefs in powerful deities and supernatural forces, integrating these experiences into the broader cultural and religious framework. Assuming the Tuli Papyrus is real and genuine, it stands as a remarkable document that offers invaluable insights into ancient Egyptian history, religion, and potentially extraterrestrial encounters. The detailed accounts of aerial phenomena, witnessed during the reign of Thutmose III, enrich our understanding of how ancient civilizations perceived and reacted to extraordinary events. The papyrus highlights the sophisticated blend of observation, religious practice, and interpretation that characterized ancient Egyptian culture. Furthermore, the Tuli Papyrus invites us to consider broader questions about humanity's past interactions with the unknown. Whether these circles of fire were indeed extraterrestrial visitors or misunderstood natural phenomena, the document underscores the timeless human fascination with the sky and the mysteries it holds. As we continue to explore and interpret ancient texts like the Tuli Papyrus, we gain not only historical knowledge, but also a deeper appreciation for the enduring quest to understand our place in the universe. Elizabeth Hunch. A man who, according to the authorities, took out his wife and daughter in 1995 while they were living in a New York suburb and then created a new life and family in Ohio, was given a 60-year prison sentence. Officials reported that Elizabeth Hunch was unknown for 19 years. They were not identifiable by authorities due to a lack of proof. They remained unidentified until a lady from Virginia Beach contacted New York State Police in June 2014 in search of relatives who had gone missing since 1995. Several rounds of DNA testing had confirmed they were a mother and daughter. According to the evidence, Hunch visited family members' houses soon after the incident took place and informed them that Marcia and Elizabeth had left for Australia before him and that he would be joining them because of a job transfer, the state attorney's office stated in a statement. Robert Hunch left for South Africa shortly after and returned to the United States a few years later. Robert Hunch remarried and had 3 children during that time. When he was apprehended in 2014, he was discovered residing in Dalton, Ohio, with his current wife and 3 children, all under the alias Robert Tyree. Investigators claimed he was linked to what happened by analyzing objects discovered close to the scene. The mystery of Maura Murray. On February 9, 2004, a woman by the name of Faith Westman called the Haverhill, New Hampshire police to report a car collision. It seemed like a black Saturn was trapped in a ditch not far from her house. After thanking her for her call, the dispatcher dispatched an officer. Authorities had received a second contact regarding the accident, this time from Butch Atwood, a bus driver. The woman who drove seemed to be shaken up, but she was unharmed. The woman claimed to have phoned roadside help before Atwood arrived at the crash scene, despite Atwood's assertion that he had offered to call the police. Atwood still made the police call after getting home, which was roughly 100 yards from the scene of the accident. Although he claimed not to be able to see the woman's car from his home, he could see other automobiles going by on the street. The first responding officer reached the area at 7:46 in the evening. However, the mysterious woman had vanished from sight. Authorities discovered that Maura Murray, aged 21, was the missing woman after conducting a preliminary check of the region. She was a University of Massachusetts Amherst nursing student, and earlier that day, she had left campus without informing anyone she was heading to New Hampshire, and she was never seen again after Murray disappeared in Haverhill that evening. Maura Murray grew up in Hanson. At the age of 6, the youngest child of Fred and Laurie Murray, she saw her parents divorce. Murray excelled academically as a track athlete and honor student. Despite receiving an acceptance to West Point, she chose to pursue her nursing studies at the University of Massachusetts in Amherst. Although there were occasional issues, Her experience there seemed to be mostly typical. Maura Murray was arrested 3 months before her vanishing for using a credit card number that had been stolen, but if she continued to behave well for 3 months, that charge was meant to be dropped. Additionally, Murray and her sister Kathleen, who was dealing with problems with her fiancé, had a tearful phone call on February 5, 2004. Murray had to be escorted back to her room because she was so upset by the call at her campus security job at the time. Fred Murray, Murray's father, left for Amherst on February 7, 2004. He claimed that after taking his daughter out to supper and car shopping, he returned to his motel. Murray was then given his car to use for the nighttime celebration, enabling her to drive back to her dorm. However, she struck a railing with her father's vehicle while returning in the early hours of the next day. The car sustained major damage, but Murray remained unhurt. But Fred soon discovered that if Murray obtained the necessary paperwork from the Registry of Motor Vehicles, his insurance would pay for the repairs. Murray allegedly seemed well when her father returned her to her hostel later that day, despite her being disturbed about the mishap. However, all changed on February 9, 2004, the following morning. Murray sent an email to her instructors informing them of a bereavement in her family and her intention to take a week off. Murray gave a call to the owner of the Bartlett, New Hampshire condo she had previously visited with her family. However, she didn't book a room. She did not make a reservation when she called a helpline for motels in Stowe, Vermont. She had even used the internet to find directions to Burlington, Vermont by that point. She didn't inform anyone where she was heading, so it's unclear what her intended destination was. Murray drove to an off-campus at 3:15 in the afternoon, and 3 took out $280. After that, she went to a liquor store and spent roughly $40 on boxed wine and Baileys. She also picked up the paperwork related to her vehicle accident from the Registry of Motor Vehicles. She put a call into her own voicemail at 4:37 in the afternoon. That was the last time her phone usage was documented. Murray's whereabouts between her Amherst errands and her automobile crash in Haverhill hours later are unknown. However, it is most likely that she was somewhere between 7 and 7:25 in the evening. The 2 people who reported the car accident, Westman and Atwood, called 911 at 7:27 and 7:42 in the evening. The first responding officer discovered a wrecked car, but no one was inside. The airbags were deployed and the car was locked. Evidence at the scene indicated the vehicle had been eastbound and had gone off the roadway, struck some trees, spun around, and came to rest facing the wrong way in the eastbound lane. The officer added that they could see a box of Franzia wine right behind the driver's seat of the vehicle. Additionally, they noticed crimson liquid on the car's ceiling and driver's side door. There were no evident clues to foul activity, and no tracks leading into the surrounding woods could be found in the snow. As Atwood was the last person known to have spoken to Murray, the officer initially approached him for assistance with the search. A state trooper eventually arrived, and then firemen and emergency medical assistance. It's thought that nobody ventured east during the initial search, even though they started by searching the region west of the scene. Murray's father, Fred, who learned of his daughter's disappearance only 24 hours after the collision, would later point fingers at numerous aspects of the police search operation. Fred remarked that he knew she was headed east. Murray's phone records would suggest that she was thinking about renting a hotel in Bartlett, but the MapQuest directions she had in the car suggested to the police that she was actually going to Burlington. She had departed without making a definite reservation and without telling anyone about her plans, so it's still unknown where she was heading. During this time, several theories were shared by the media. However, her father said that she was in good spirits and had no worries or reason to run away from her life. Murray had been dealing with a lot of issues before going missing, including her legal troubles related to credit card theft, her concerns about her alcoholic sister, and the fact that she had crashed her father's car just hours before she was involved in another collision. There were indications that Murray meant her disappearance to be permanent, despite the belief held by many of her loved ones that she had just wanted to get away from the turmoil for a few days. Most significantly, when her dorm room was searched, it was discovered that she had packed the majority of her stuff into boxes before leaving. A printed email outlining various issues in her relationship with her partner was found on top of one of the boxes. Murray had left a few essentials in her car, but her backpack and mobile phone were among the few items that were stolen. Her phone was never used again, though. Every bank account connected to her has stayed empty, Furthermore, nothing more than unsubstantiated rumors and purported sightings have surfaced since Maura Murray vanished in 2004. Putting aside sentimental attachments, many have concluded that Murray did not plan to pass away that day based on things found in her car, including college textbooks, birth pills, and tooth whitener. Murray may have fled the scene to avoid difficulties after smashing her automobile a few hours after wrecking her father's car, according to a different scenario. Authorities assumed Murray had been drinking because of the quantity of alcohol discovered at the scene. Murray didn't want to take a chance on her record of good behavior following her credit card fraud arrest. If it had been warmer outside, the adjacent woods may have been a nice spot to hide out, but it was currently quite cold. Additionally, since the area was not checked during the first search, she would have had to flee on the road and move east of the accident scene, as there were no footprints discovered in the snow heading to the woods. Remarkably, a few miles from the accident scene, between 8 and 8:30 in the evening, a contractor who had been driving past on the route where the incident happened that evening later claimed seeing a woman walking westbound. The contractor was first unclear of the precise date he had seen the individual, so he didn't submit the reported sighting until months later. It's still unclear if Murray was the individual in question. Amateur investigators have looked into all of these possibilities, and more in the years following Maura Murray's disappearance. Atwood, the final person to have seen Murray alive, has been the subject of other speculations. That he did not stay with Murray until assistance arrived was viewed by some as suspicious. In addition, he and his spouse relocated to Florida not long after the incident. Most startlingly of all, some citizen investigators have suggested that Murray's father may have mistreated her, possibly to the point where she fled. Murray's family has refuted this claim. The disappearance of Asha Degree. On Valentine's Day in 2000, Asha Degree disappeared from her Shelby, North Carolina home just before dawn. The previous evening, her parents had put her to bed without any problems. When the family's neighborhood lost power due to a local vehicle accident after midnight, Asha's father went to check on her and discovered that she was still asleep. The FBI and local police were at a loss for words after what happened. Asha and her elder brother, O'Brien, were roommates. He admitted to investigators that he heard Asha shift in the middle of the night and that he heard her bed squeak. Asha stepped forth into the stormy night after putting on her black rucksack with a t-shirt and a book from the school library. About 4 a.m, 2 cars claimed to have seen her by the side of North Carolina Highway 18. Even so, one turned back to check on Asha, but she bolted into the woods. After this, she vanished from sight forever. Asha Degree was born in Shelby, North Carolina on August 5, 1990. Her parents, Harold and Aquila Degree, were devoted and hard-working. Being latchkey kids who let themselves in after school when their parents were still at work, Asha and her brother seldom ventured far from their apartment. Later on, Asha's mother would clarify that her daughter was a very intelligent young woman. As a 4th grader, she led a scholastic life and delighted in going to church with her family. She wouldn't even pet the neighborhood dogs and was cautious about strangers. This added to the mystery surrounding what happened to her on February 14, 2000. Asha had gone to bed at 8 in the evening with her brother. Harold checked on them around 2:30 in the morning, but they were asleep because the house hadn't had power restored until just after midnight due to a nearby vehicle accident. Between then and 6:30 in the morning, Asha Degree disappeared. When her mother went to wake Asha and her brother up for school, she found Asha had vanished. The Shelby Police Department was called right away by the family, and they discovered no evidence of forced entry. Asha had brought her book bag with her, the police observed. Following the failure of K9 units to locate even a single smell trail to pursue, investigators got their first leads in the afternoon. Around 4 in the morning, 2 persons contacted the station to report that they had spotted a female on Highway 18 who fit Asha's description. According to one of them, the girl ran into the woods when he attempted to approach her. Detective Tim Adams of the Cleveland County Sheriff's Office stated that this was the last time anyone had a sighting of Asha that had actually been confirmed. Asha Degree's hairbow was discovered by the police in a neighboring shed the very next day. They looked over a 2-by-3-mile region for the following 7 days and 9,000 man-hours, but they came up empty. Additionally, they went through 300 suggestions, none of which worked out. Thankfully, the State Bureau of Investigation in North Carolina and the Federal Bureau of Investigation collaborated to locate the missing Asha and proceeded with their search. The matter was made public by the national news and even the Oprah Winfrey Show, and the Degree family was hoping that appearances on the Montel Williams Show would help. The following clue was not found for more than a year and a half. On August 3, 2001, while excavating an access road in Burke County, construction workers discovered Asha's backpack. It included a copy of Dr. Seuss's McElligot's Pool and a New Kids on the Block t-shirt. The book had been checked out at Asha's primary school library, but the finding of the backpack didn't yield any further information. The case's next piece of information didn't surface until 2004, when a prisoner said that they were aware of where she was. When investigators returned to the location of where the prisoner said she was, they discovered animal remains at the location. The Degree family planned a yearly trek from their house to a missing persons billboard in order to raise local awareness when encouraging leads turned out to be dead ends. In her honor, they even instituted a scholarship. When a tipster reported seeing someone who matched Asha's description get into a green Ford Thunderbird or Lincoln Mark IV the night she vanished in 2015, everything changed. After resuming its investigation, the FBI revealed that specific lead in 2016 and made Asha's backpack contents public in 2018. Suggestions keep coming in. Another prisoner at a state correctional facility in North Carolina contacted the Shelby Star in 2020, claiming to have overheard someone discussing her case. He and another prisoner were questioned by investigators, but they were unable to obtain any fresh information. Tim Adams, a Cleveland County investigator, is still hopeful that someone exists who could be able to provide Asha with useful information. Even after the State Bureau of Investigation, local police, and FBI collaborated with the National Center for Missing People, Asha's whereabouts is still unknown. Recently, digitally aged images of Asha as a 30-year-old lady were made public. As things stand, the FBI is willing to pay $25,000 for information that identifies her whereabouts. Another $20,000 is being offered by the Cleveland County Sheriff's Office. The parents of Asha Degree hope that the individual guilty has the guts to come forward and hasn't caused any irreversible harm. The disappearance of Trevor Deely. Early in the morning on December 8, 2000, Trevor Deely disappeared from the streets of Dublin. A high-profile search and publicity campaign were launched after his disappearance at the age of 22, but no trace of him was ever discovered. His disappearance in Dublin just before Christmas sparked what may have been the most publicized missing persons search in recent memory. However, no one has been able to determine what happened to him since he left a CCTV camera on Baggot Street Bridge in the heart of Dublin. At 4 in the morning, the camera captured him walking towards Haddington Road. Trevor's brother, Mark Deely, states that the following year, he had well-meaning individuals approach him at work saying that he's in a happy place now. The 14th year since Trevor's disappearance began in December 2014. An age progression picture of Trevor was unveiled on the 10th anniversary, speculating on what he could look like now. Michael Deely took part in a news conference that the Garda set up and uploaded a video of it to YouTube afterwards. He described the family's ordeal as a complete nightmare during that appeal, adding that they weren't going to give up until they had a clear understanding of what transpired. They are simply holding out hope that things will improve. He added that Trevor had worked in information technology and they have been told that he loved that work, meaning that if he was seen working elsewhere, he was probably in an IT setting. The family stated that although Trevor's mother is too traumatized to discuss the disappearance, she is eager to thank her friends at the Nas Tennis Club for their generosity and support over the previous 14 years. Nas is where Trevor Deely grew up. Standing at a height of more than 6 feet, he had reddish blonde hair and a unique stance as he walked with his arms straight down by his sides. He was an affable youngster who enjoyed maths but was not as athletic or intellectual as his older siblings. Like many others, he didn't know what to do after school. He attempted to attend Waterford Institute of Technology to study business while holding a part-time job at a supermarket, but he left school in his second year. He was able to locate a computer course in Dublin thanks to his sister Michelle. According to Michael Deely, he took to it like a duck to water. According to his sister, it was like turning a key in a lock. He seemed to be really good at it as well, and he finally found what he really enjoyed. 3 employment offers were made to him after he completed his study. Regarding which to choose, he sought his father's guidance. Trevor began working at Bank of Ireland Asset Management in May 1999. The company was located near Leeson Street Bridge in a notable neo-Georgian edifice. He worked in an open-plan office with a staff of 10 or so other people in the IT department. Glenn Cullen was Trevor's best friend from childhood to maturity. They first got together in their first year of high school in Naas. He said that he never, ever got into a disagreement with him. Among their close circle of acquaintances was Conleth Lunan, another native of Naas. Trev had a cheerful disposition, and he was usually in excellent form. He also possessed a level head because he was performing admirably at work and had a serious side to him. He was a serious worker. Together, the 3 would frequent bars and clubs in their early 20s. Smithwick's was the drink of choice in Naas, and Thomas Fletcher's was the local. On their nights out, they had a good time, but according to Glenn, it was never falling around the place. Glenn remembers that they always corresponded via their identical cell phones, which were Nokia's at the time, as this was a popular model. Email wasn't out yet. Glenn Cullen was employed by Aer Lingus as a long-haul flight attendant, primarily on the Los Angeles and New York routes during Trevor's tenure at Bank of Ireland Asset Management. Glenn was eligible for free or heavily discounted flights for a number of family members and friends because he worked for Aer Lingus. Glenn made arrangements for Trevor to be listed as the recipient of his Cara discount pass for a vacation not long before Trevor vanished. Glenn last saw Trevor in late November 2000 as he was passing through US Customs on his route to Alaska at Dublin Airport. He left Dublin for Los Angeles, arriving at LAX. From what he understood, he had a direct connecting aircraft to Anchorage. He went alone to see this girl he had met in Dublin that summer who lived in Anchorage. The 2 friends had been talking about the woman on a previous night out. For what he believes to have been no more than £40, Glenn used his pass to book Trevor a return flight, covering a distance of 24,000 kilometers round trip. According to Michael Deely, Trevor got to know a few girls from Alaska when he was in Ireland, thanks to his connections in Naas and the neighboring town. The girls were in Anchorage attending university. It appears that one day he answered the phone or checked his email. He had all of their emails as he was interested in them, and he sent these women in Alaska an email letting them know he was free for a few days or something. The financial institution on Thursday, December 7th, was the planned date of the Christmas celebration. Trevor was among those that went to Copperface Jack's first. Then, according to Dara Treacy, everyone convened at the Hilton Hotel on Charlemont Place for a sit-down meal and a band. That week, the 2 had exchanged several emails concerning Christmas, her return trip, and gifts from family. Trevor's shirt size came up in their most recent conversation. Before anyone was aware that Trevor was missing, Michelle got her brother a light blue Ralph Lauren shirt for Christmas that weekend in London. It's still with her. Glenn and Conleth were out for the evening back in Naas. Trevor once called Glenn, but the noise of the Hilton office party prevented Glenn from hearing him. Glenn believes it was late, at around 11:30 in the evening. He then gave him a call back, but he didn't answer the call. They never really spoke to one another because of the background noise and the fact that they kept missing each other's calls. Following the Hilton, several individuals, such as Trevor Deely and Dara Treacy, proceeded to Buck Whaley's, a nightclub located on Lower Leeson Street. This newspaper's weather forecast for the post-midnight hours of December 8, 2000, for the eastern counties stated that there was going to be heavy rain overnight. In Dublin, there was a taxi strike that rainy and chaotic night. This was going to be important in the Trevor disappearance investigation since it meant that fewer possible reliable witnesses would be available. Since taxi drivers are often around, it is helpful to know that there were none available on that particular night, said to be Detective Sergeant Michael Fitzgerald, who has been working on the Deely case since the start. Trevor would not have been severely affected by the taxi strike, according to Dara Treacy, as he often walked to work. He lived with 2 girls, one of whom was Michelle's acquaintance, in the Renoir building on Serpentine Avenue in Ballsbridge. But as Dara remembers, it was pouring rain that night, and Trevor would have discovered as soon as he walked outside for his trip home that he didn't have an umbrella. They had a conversation regarding the party and the attendees. Carl claims Trevor was playing really well. Carl then had to return to his job. Trevor picked up one of the business golf umbrellas that were usually left laying around the office, bid farewell, and headed back outside into the rainy night. Glenn was asleep at his NAS house. He would always leave his phone next to his bed, turned on. His phone was downstairs in the kitchen, charging. It is required to be charged once every 7 to 10 days. Glenn discovered a voicemail from Trevor when he went into the kitchen early on December 8, 2000, and picked up his phone. He estimates that the voicemail was left at around 4 in the morning. Since he erased the message after listening to it, he is unable to be positive, according to Fitzgerald. Glenn's Nokia was never requested by the Garda, allowing it to obtain Trevor's last voicemail, which is known to exist. Rain was still falling as Trevor Deely strolled along the Grand Canal with the golf umbrella in his hand in the minutes following the call. After that, he is not known to have had contact with anyone else, but he was captured on camera. The friends of Trevor Deely persevered in finding this clip. In 2000, there was a single CCTV camera outside a Bank of Ireland building on the intersection of Baggot Street Bridge and Haddington Road, which is currently a pizza restaurant. However, the number of CCTV cameras has increased since then. At the time, Conleth Lunan was employed for a communications firm that provided CCTV systems. Speaking of the outdated analog tapes, Conleth remarks that being in the business, he would have known back then that all the CCTV footage was recorded on VHS video. He was aware that recording businesses either stored their tapes for a brief duration or erased them and re-recorded them immediately, following a 24-hour period. These days, a digital video recorder, or DVR, records everything captured by security cameras and stores it directly to a hard disk. Following the report of Trevor Deely's disappearance, Conleth and his friends made it their mission to visit every location along any potential path that Trevor may have taken to get home from his office. They then requested that the organizations review their security tape for any film captured during the early hours of that Friday morning. The only location where Trevor was captured on camera that evening was the Bank of Ireland on Baggot Street Bridge. Conleth remembers that the manager informed him that it would have been eliminated quickly because the bank operated on a 28-day cycle at the time, which was about to expire. He added that they were fortunate to have called in at that time, adding that she would not give the video to us, but would hold it for the guards once they got in touch with her. The Conleth lads' first action was to gather the CCTV tapes from the cameras. There was some disagreement over that. The guards claimed it was their duty, but there was a pressing need for time. Following Conleth's inquiry, Bank of Ireland provided the Garda with footage that captured a tall guy on the damp sidewalk at 4:14 in the morning, partially concealed behind a bank umbrella. The man was recognized by the Deely family as Trevor. This final photo represents the final known glimpse of Trevor Deely before he vanished beyond the CCTV's field of view. Then, word spread among friends and relatives that Trevor was missing and that calls were coming in from all across Dublin, Naas, and beyond. Trevor's mother, Anne Deely, received the first call at the Naas family residence. She then gave her husband, Michael, a call. The initial call simply stated that he hadn't arrived at work, but it didn't really worry her. Soon after, she gave Michael another call and asked him to see Trevor and the other 2 residents of the Serpentine Avenue flat in Ballsbridge. She got in touch with Trevor's friends, but none of them had seen or spoken to him since Thursday. When Michael Deely rang the doorbell of his son's flat, no one picked up, and he didn't have a key. The mother said that it finally dawned on her that he might be missing. That morning in Castlebar, Mark Deely answered his mother's phone and made the decision to head straight to Naas. In the event, Mark Deely would spend over 2 months away from his Castlebar residence. They posted thousands of pamphlets, hundreds of laminated posters, went door to door, entered bars, clubs and restaurants, stood on street corners, talked to homeless people, and looked for security camera footage. Trevor's route home was drawn out in all possible combinations, and each one was examined. They continued doing this day in and day out. That December, Dubliners were accustomed to seeing the face of Trevor Deely staring at them from many poles and lampposts all around the city. A few of the posters were up for several months or even years until they finally fell apart. It is nobody's desire to be the one to take down a missing persons poster. The final known image of Deely was captured on another security camera, this time in front of a bank he passed on Haddington Road on his way home on foot. There is still no explanation for his disappearance, despite ongoing police inquiries. The mystery of Andrew Irvine. Andrew Irvine and George Mallory embarked on their mission to reach the peak a century ago. Later on, Mallory's remains were uncovered, but as of right now, neither of their remains can be located. Before setting out to climb Everest, George Mallory penned a letter to his mother. Along with his climbing partner Andrew Irvine, his disappearance has turned into one of the most intriguing mysteries in exploration history. A final, thrilling view of the two, through mist not far from the peak, has sparked conflicting hypotheses among historians, writers, and filmmakers over the years, all centered around the same question: did they make it to the top? Regarding Mallory and Irvine's fate, there's a fresh mystery to unravel. Conrad Anker, an American climber, found Mallory's in 1999 and left it in its original site. Researchers had also pinpointed Irvine's final resting spot. However, Jamie McGuinness, who has a 5-time summit completion record from the Tibetan side, stated that he has concluded that the individuals of both British climbers were taken sometime in the 2000s after conducting a thorough investigation of the area during an expedition in 2019. According to McGuinness, Irvine is almost certainly no longer up there. Along for the ride was American mountain guide and author of The Third Pole Mark Sinnott, who ascended to the spot where many Everest researchers concur is the most likely location for Irvine's remains. He did not find anything. According to Sinnott, the team also looked at the exact location where Anker discovered Mallory's bones 25 years ago, but they were unable to find Mallory. Everyone with in-depth knowledge of the incident concurs that China's climbing authorities were the ones who took the remains of Mallory and Irvine out. One possible explanation could be the unfavorable media coverage surrounding the individuals left high on the mountain. However, Mallory's remains were buried far below and difficult to find, but Irvine's were near the current climbing path. It is probably related to China's long-standing resentment of the dubious response from the West to China's ascent of the mountain over 60 years ago. Furthermore, China was actually aware of the burial locations for the individuals. Mallory and Irvine had been sighted considerably earlier than 1999. Using a powerful telescope to scan the highest portion of the mountain in 1936, British pioneer Frank Smythe saw what he was certain was Mallory or Irvine. It was beneath the spot where, 3 years earlier, a British crew had found an abandoned ice axe. Smythe never made his discovery known to the public. He wrote to Edward Norton, another Everest climber and Mallory's buddy, saying that it's not to be written about as the press would make an unpleasant sensation. An enormous propaganda boost for China's then leader Mao Zedong occurred 7 years after Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay became the first humans to reach the summit, when a Chinese team reached Everest via the more dangerous North Ridge that Mallory and Irvine had been attempting to climb. A climber named Xu Jing grew ill and made his way down by himself. He found an individual in a sheltering rock fissure between 8,300 and 8,400 meters after going off course in hypoxia and freezing temperatures. Arms by its sides, he reported that the individual was face up. Only Irvine may have been the source. In 1999, Mallory was discovered face down at 8,100 meters on an open slope, with his arms outstretched above him, seemingly attempting to avert a fall. Upon reaching the peak in 1975, Chinese climbers discovered not one, but 2, and maybe 3 Britons. During a goodwill expedition between China and Japan in 1979, the first indication of these discoveries appeared. Wang Hongbao reported to a Japanese colleague that one English climber's remains, likely those of daring explorer Maurice Wilson, had been discovered. The other was approximately 8,100 meters higher. The climber's clothes, which crumbled away as he touched it, astounded him. Wang was taken out in an avalanche the day following this conversation. The growing obsession with Mallory and Irvine whereabouts was sparked by these revelations, but Chinese mountaineering authorities have continuously refuted them, in spite of supporting evidence. In 1999, Mallory and its wealth of personal belongings were discovered, making headlines worldwide and raising awareness of the case. Among the team members who located him was Jake Norton. When Norton and his colleagues revisited the mountain in 2001, they were unable to locate Irvine, but they did discover a great deal more items from the pre-war Everest missions. Many are of the opinion that something happened to Dr. Amy Eskridge, a researcher who had conducted research in the field of anti-gravity in Huntsville, Alabama. This unfortunate event occurred around the time when David Grush had a meeting with George Knapp and Jeremy Corbell. Furthermore, there is strong belief that Dr. Eskridge is one of the individuals whom Grush mentioned as having been taken out, as referred to in the UAP hearings. Upon delving into the perplexing demise of Dr. Amy Eskridge in Huntsville, Alabama, and the unexplained disappearances of fellow researchers who delved into anti-gravity studies, a disquieting sensation ensues. Some have said that Dr. Lee's inexplicable vanishing parallels Dr. Eskridge's disconcerting fate. Her whereabouts remained a mystery until inquiries after her passing unveiled the truth, initiated by her contact with her son. Dr. Eskridge, gearing to publicize her anti-gravity investigations, tragically met her end shortly following a meeting with NASA scientists in Huntsville. Those who have researched this topic, along with anti-gravity technology, have said that in a more alarming scenario, individuals could encounter the formidable Invention Secrecy Act of 1951, a regulation mandated by the Department of Energy. The Department of Defense, solely in 2022, classified over 80 inventions as confidential through the imposition of a national security order. This decision, taken unilaterally, leaves inventors essentially powerless, lacking any viable recourse when subjected to it. The hindrance posed by this legislation significantly restricts the presence of free enterprise within the realm of science in the United States. Consequently, it brings into question the ethical stance of the US government, drawing troubling comparisons to regimes historically known for curbing scientific and economic freedom. Amy also demonstrated her keen business acumen while serving as the chairwoman and president of the Institute for Exotic Science in Huntsville, Alabama, an organization she played a pivotal role in co-founding. Her fondness for space exploration can be traced back to her formative years spent in the Rocket City. Upon completing her double major in chemistry and biology, she diversified her expertise by delving into interdisciplinary studies and obtaining mastery in electrical engineering, chemistry, physics, genetic engineering, and nanotechnology. This diverse skill set enabled her to not only lead the Institute for Exotic Science, but also contributed to her remarkable journey as an entrepreneur. Extensive exploration of anti-gravity technology and associated aircraft has revealed that researchers often face significant personal risk due to the sensitive nature of the information they handle. This peril arises from the high-stakes nature of their research and the potential implications of their findings. The individuals delving into this field confront unique challenges, with their safety and well-being frequently in jeopardy as a result of their involvement in such groundbreaking and potentially disruptive technologies. Surprisingly, it is not the initial occurrence of a remark of this nature resounding. Numerous trustworthy individuals who have also witnessed the events have revealed that they faced serious threats for speaking out about the matter. They disclosed being cautioned to refrain from discussing their research findings publicly. Numerous explanations have been proposed regarding the vulnerability of these individuals, and the majority attribute it to the nature of the technology. Individuals involved in its development emphasize the universal desire to prevent it from falling into the wrong hands, making it imperative for those in authority to take any essential measures to maintain its confidentiality. The risk posed to these individuals is intricately linked to the characteristics of the technology itself. The inherent need to safeguard it from misuse underscores the unwavering dedication of those responsible to ensure its protection. The exploration of anti-gravity technology and mysterious aircrafts encapsulates a multifaceted and mysterious domain, which, while offering the prospect of revolutionary revelations, concurrently poses substantial hazards. The investigation of anti-gravity and mysterious aircrafts poses a significant risk to national security, primarily due to the potential for advanced capabilities that surpass human technology. If both of these areas of study are real, it prompts concerns about potential security breaches. The prospect that these aerial phenomena may represent advanced technology from rival nations or even advanced entities emphasizes the critical need for governments to thoroughly explore and comprehend these occurrences. However, the dissemination of confidential information concerning encounters could jeopardize national security, potentially resulting in conflicts and geopolitical instability. Therefore, the urgency to investigate and understand these phenomena is paramount, while also carefully managing the associated risks to national security. Engaging in the investigation of unidentified objects and anti-gravity technology can have significant impacts on both personal and professional aspects of an individual's life, and those who openly pursue this research may encounter mockery, doubt, and social exclusion, which can in turn lead to harm to their reputation, career prospects, and personal connections. The apprehension of being marginalized in society may discourage highly skilled scientists and scholars from entering this particular field, consequently restricting the pool of capable individuals who can contribute meaningfully to the exploration of this phenomena. Despite the potential impact of investigating these topics, this field frequently encounters challenges in obtaining financial backing and essential resources, in contrast to other branches of scientific study. The allocation of limited resources to this research can result in the diversion of funds from other crucial scientific inquiries. The lack of adequate financial backing may impede the advancement of cutting-edge research tools, technology, and data analysis methods, thereby limiting our capacity to unravel the mysteries surrounding the phenomena. This disparity in funding within the realm of scientific investigation can potentially stifle progress and hinder our ability to comprehensively explore and understand UFO-related phenomena. UFO research raises ethical questions regarding the handling of evidence and the rights of individuals involved in sightings. Privacy concerns arise when witnesses are scrutinized or subjected to invasive investigations. The potential exposure of sensitive information about witnesses or their involvement in UFO incidents can lead to ethical dilemmas, particularly when their consent has not been obtained. Balancing the pursuit of knowledge with ethical considerations is a constant challenge in this field. UFO research can take a toll on the well-being of investigators, with many who have researched these topics saying that they have experienced fear-related psychological distress. Researchers, too, may face stress and anxiety when confronted with the overwhelming nature of the unknown. The psychological toll of dealing with unexplained phenomena can be substantial and should not be underestimated. Research related to unidentified flying objects has occasionally been associated with pseudoscientific and fringe ideologies, which can have a detrimental impact on the credibility of genuine scientific inquiries. Therefore, it is imperative for researchers to uphold stringent scientific principles, adhere to the scientific process, and make a clear distinction between empirical, evidence-based conclusions and speculative theories. This proactive approach is essential in safeguarding the reputation and integrity of the field and preventing it from being delegitimized. The exploration of the possible validation of alien existence via the investigation of unidentified flying objects has the potential to deeply impact cultural and religious spheres. It may confront and even challenge existing belief systems and societal narratives, potentially giving rise to social and psychological frictions. Effectively addressing these delicate and complex matters necessitates thoughtful contemplation and tactful maneuvering, given their capacity to disrupt communities and induce unintended repercussions. The perils associated with delving into the realm of UFO research are varied and intricate. Although the exploration of this domain holds the potential for unraveling a genuine and enigmatic phenomenon, it also entails a range of hazards, including those related to national security, dissemination of misinformation, societal and professional stigmatization, constraints on resources, ethical quandaries, psychological and emotional ramifications, as well as associations with pseudoscience and conflicts rooted in culture and religion. These complexities emphasize the vital necessity for conducting responsible, thorough, and ethically sound research within the field of unidentified objects. It is imperative for researchers and enthusiasts alike to approach this subject matter with prudence, skepticism, and a steadfast dedication to uncovering truths while proactively addressing potential challenges. Striking a careful balance between the pursuit of knowledge and the recognition of potential perils is crucial for furthering our comprehension of these mysterious occurrences, without compromising aspects such as security, ethics, or credibility. So, what do you make of this story? Be sure to leave your questions and answers in the comment section below and help us to grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos. This video has just been shared on social media, and it's currently going viral. However, people can't seem to agree on what it shows. In Germany, an individual has come forward with an intriguing account of capturing a perplexing object while recording a video of the moon. This incident has generated curiosity and interest among the public. On a serene and luminous night, as he carefully observed the vast expanse of the cosmos through his powerful telescope, his attention was captivated by the resplendent and captivating presence of Earth's eternal celestial companion, the moon. On that fateful night, an extraordinary event took place right in front of him, completely transforming the trajectory of his evening. This incident, unfolding before his very eyes, was so remarkable that it left an indelible mark, causing him to question what it was. With unwavering determination, he meticulously fine-tuned his camera's configuration, aiming to capture an impeccable image of the breathtaking lunar terrain. To his great surprise and amazement, he witnessed an extraordinary sight amidst the vast expanse of darkness in outer space. There, in all its glory, floated a mesmerizing red triangle, shining with a radiant brilliance. Its three sides were perfect in length, forming an equilateral shape that emitted an otherworldly crimson glow. This unique phenomenon created an enigmatic luminosity, casting an ethereal light upon the moon's surface. The man was utterly astounded, unable to comprehend what he was witnessing before his eyes. This captivating spectacle surpassed anything he had ever encountered during his extensive years of observing the celestial sphere. With a quick motion, he pressed the shutter button, capturing a succession of photographs that would forever remain imprinted in his mind. The incandescent red triangle, glowing with an otherworldly aura, had become an indelible part of his consciousness, signifying a celestial enigma of unparalleled significance. The very next day, he didn't hesitate to quickly spread his photos among the international astronomical community. With great enthusiasm, he shared his captured images and provided a thorough description of his remarkable observation on a popular online forum that attracts a wide range of amateur astronomers, scientists, and space enthusiasts from various corners of the globe. The reaction that followed was immediate and astounding, as countless individuals responded with excitement and curiosity. The flood of responses was truly overwhelming, as people from all over the world expressed their awe and admiration for his extraordinary sighting. The eyewitness's narrative instantly caught the attention of fellow enthusiasts of celestial observation, who were both fascinated and intrigued by his encounter. This unprecedented event prompted a flurry of activity among experts, as they diligently examined the accompanying photographs and diligently sought to validate the authenticity of the sighting. The enigmatic red triangle, radiating an otherworldly glow, posed a perplexing enigma that defied easy explanation. As the conversation on the internet started to pick up speed, experts in the field of astronomy and astrophysics joined in to contribute their knowledge and insights to the investigation. They carefully examined the detailed information about the light emitted by the mysterious object and conducted thorough analyses of the neighboring celestial entities. Oddly enough, one user said the following: "During a time-lapse session last month, where I captured the movement of the stars over a span of 5 minutes, I encountered an intriguing occurrence. Upon reviewing the resulting photo, I noticed a solitary red dot amidst a backdrop of stars that displayed streaks caused by the Earth's rotation. Interestingly, this red dot remained stationary, defying the expected motion." End quote. While another user said the following: "During the process of assembling my telescope a few weeks ago, I witnessed the same object. Before having everything set up, I looked through the eyepiece and saw a triangular formation above the moon. Due to the fact that my ZWO camera was not connected and configured, I unfortunately could not capture a clear photograph. Regrettably, by the time I had everything prepared and set up, the object of interest had already vanished. I have been amazed by the uniqueness of this experience and felt compelled to share it with everyone at the time. I'm really glad I found this footage and that others saw the same object." End quote. Interestingly, this isn't the first time that amateur astronomers have captured mysterious triangular aircrafts. The night sky, an endless expanse of mystery and fascination, has captivated humanity since ancient times, filled with twinkling stars, distant planets, and awe-inspiring celestial events. It serves as a mesmerizing canvas. However, Within this vast cosmic theatre, sightings of unidentified flying objects have continuously intrigued and puzzled people for countless decades. Amongst these reports, one particular type of UFO stands out prominently: the enigmatic triangle-shaped aircrafts. These distinct aerial objects, with their 3 distinctive points, have captured the attention of both scientists and researchers. The phenomenon of triangle-shaped UFO sightings has been observed for several decades, with a notable case taking place in Belgium during 1989. This incident remains one of the most extensively documented encounters in history. Numerous individuals, including law enforcement officers and military personnel, witnessed a vast triangular craft adorned with luminous lights, silently suspended in the night sky. In response to the sightings, the Belgian Air Force promptly dispatched F-16 fighter jets in an attempt to intercept the enigmatic entity. However, despite their efforts, the military aircraft proved unable to apprehend the object, thus confirming its extraordinary capabilities and distinguishing it from conventional aircraft. This incident serves as a fascinating testament to the enduring enigma surrounding triangle-shaped UFOs and their potential origins, inviting further exploration and scrutiny from the scientific community and enthusiasts alike. Similar sightings of unidentified triangular craft have been frequently documented in various regions across the globe, such as the United States, the United Kingdom, and France. These numerous accounts consistently depict these triangular objects swiftly gliding through the skies, completely devoid of any discernible sound, and defying the fundamental laws of physics as we currently comprehend them. These sightings have occurred over an extended period of time, lending further weight to their credibility and demanding thorough examination and analysis. Eyewitness accounts, although subject to potential inaccuracies, should not be dismissed outright. The sheer consistency and reliability of these reports from disparate locations and timeframes necessitates serious consideration and investigation. It is crucial to recognize that these observations are not isolated incidents, but rather a recurring phenomenon that demands meticulous scrutiny. One fascinating element of sightings, involving triangular-shaped, unidentified flying objects, is their remarkable tendency to appear in close proximity to military installations and engage with military activities. There have been instances where these enigmatic craft have been observed hovering near military bases or undertaking intricate maneuvers in the vicinity of highly sensitive areas. Such occurrences have sparked speculation among researchers and enthusiasts, giving rise to theories suggesting that these aerial objects could potentially be advanced military aircraft or experimental prototypes, pushing the boundaries of technological innovation and military prowess. Military authorities have consistently rejected any association with these sightings and frequently convey their own bewilderment regarding these enigmatic phenomena. Given the triangular configuration of these unidentified flying objects, it appears highly improbable that they are clandestine military endeavors, as it would be counterintuitive to knowingly expose them to public scrutiny in conspicuous settings. These ongoing sightings have prompted extensive speculation and analysis from experts and enthusiasts alike, fueling a deep curiosity about the true nature and origin of these perplexing aerial anomalies. One of the most persuasive justifications for the existence of triangular unidentified flying objects lies in their apparent technological advancement. Eyewitness testimonies consistently portray these craft as operating silently, effortlessly floating in mid-air, and executing precise and rapid movements that are beyond the capabilities of conventional aircraft engineered by human beings. These distinct attributes defy conventional knowledge and understanding of aviation technology. Witnesses have reported observing these peculiar triangular UFOs silently soaring through the airspace, displaying remarkable maneuverability and executing sharp turns at astonishing speeds. In addition, the perplexing aspect of triangle-shaped unidentified flying objects is the absence of visible propulsion systems or exhaust trails, which poses a challenge to our current knowledge of aerodynamics. Unlike traditional aircraft that rely on engines or jet propulsion, these UFOs seemingly operate quietly and leave no noticeable emissions. This intriguing observation leads to the speculation about the existence of advanced propulsion systems, potentially built upon exotic technologies that are not yet comprehended by the scientific community at large. Consequently, Further investigation into these enigmatic triangular UFOs can provide valuable insights into the realm of potentially groundbreaking technological advancements that surpass our current understanding of physics and engineering. Scientists and researchers have shown a keen interest in investigating the sightings of UFOs in the shape of triangles as they strive to gain a deeper understanding of this fascinating phenomenon. Although the scientific community has been cautious in fully accepting these reports, there is an increasingly acknowledged realization that something extraordinary is occurring in our skies, which demands thorough examination and study. The triangular nature of these unidentified flying objects has caught the attention of experts, prompting them to delve into the intricacies and complexities of these sightings. According to certain researchers, there is a contention that UFOs could potentially signify a revolutionary advancement in propulsion technology. They propose that these unidentified flying objects might harness cutting-edge principles of anti-gravity or electromagnetism. Although this line of thought remains speculative in nature, it does provide plausible interpretations for the distinct features observed in triangle-shaped UFO sightings. Moreover, delving into the examination and analysis of these unidentified flying objects possesses the potential to furnish us with invaluable knowledge, empowering us to broaden our comprehension of the intricate workings of physics and propulsion systems. Throughout history, it has been observed that significant scientific advancements have materialized as a result of investigating enigmatic phenomena that defy immediate explanation. This underscores the significance of delving into the realm of triangular-shaped UFOs, as it holds the promise of unveiling unprecedented scientific insights that can revolutionize our understanding of the universe. One of the most intriguing and thought-provoking explanations regarding the presence of triangle-shaped unidentified flying objects centers around the compelling notion that they might actually originate from advanced beings. Although this concept is highly speculative and lacks concrete evidence, it would be unwise to completely dismiss it. The possibility that these peculiar aerial objects are not of human creation and possess technological advancements far surpassing our own raises significant questions about their origin and the entities responsible for their existence. Proponents of the advanced hypothesis assert that unidentified flying objects could potentially be operated by beings originating from distant planets or alternate dimensions. These beings are believed to have attained a highly evolved level of technology, enabling them to navigate immense cosmic distances. While this concept may evoke thoughts of science fiction, its foundation lies in the idea that if intelligent life exists elsewhere in the vast expanse of the universe, it is plausible that they have surpassed our own progress by a substantial margin, both technologically and intellectually. By contemplating the existence of these advanced extraterrestrial civilizations, we open up a world of possibilities and broaden our understanding of the universe and our place within it. Over the years, a number of mysterious objects have been photographed close to our moon. The quest to unravel the mysteries of the vast expanse of outer space has captivated the human imagination throughout history. Despite our significant advancements in comprehending the cosmic realm which surrounds us, there are still countless enigmas that persistently allure our curiosity. One such enigma that has intrigued us for years revolves around the ever-persistent reports of unidentified flying objects sighted in close proximity to our lunar companion, the Moon. The enduring fascination with unidentified flying objects in the vicinity of the Moon can be traced back to the early stages of space exploration. Throughout the Apollo missions, astronauts consistently reported a multitude of peculiar sightings and extraordinary experiences. Among these accounts, one particularly well-documented occurrence occurred during the historic Apollo 11 mission in 1969, when the esteemed Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin caught sight of an enigmatic object in close proximity to the lunar surface. Perhaps most famously, Armstrong uttered the memorable words, "There are other spacecraft out there, lined up on the far side of the crater edge," a remark that continues to provoke widespread speculation and intrigue. This incident has sparked countless debates and theories, enticing experts and enthusiasts alike to delve deeper into the mysteries surrounding these lunar encounters. Throughout the subsequent Apollo missions, such as Apollo 14 and Apollo 15, there have been numerous reports and sightings that mirror the initial claims. The astronauts who embarked on these missions witnessed peculiar lights and objects while in lunar orbit, thus further fueling the fascination and curiosity surrounding the presence of unidentified flying objects near the Moon. In a captivating manner, it is interesting to note that these testimonies frequently exhibit recurring patterns, including sightings of objects with a distinct triangular shape. One of the most persuasive and convincing rationales supporting the existence of unidentified flying objects in close proximity to the Moon lies in the remarkable level of sophisticated technology they seem to possess. Numerous witnesses consistently provide accounts detailing the precise and agile movements of these objects, frequently executing maneuvers that go against our current understanding of the laws of physics. Such descriptions raise intriguing questions about the potential advancements these UFOs have achieved, surpassing our own earthly capabilities. Moreover, the perplexing absence of a discernible means of propulsion poses a significant challenge to our current comprehension of the functioning mechanism employed by these unidentified aerial objects. Traditional spacecraft heavily rely on propulsion systems such as rockets or thrusters, which invariably result in the emission of exhaust or other visible emissions. On the contrary, the observed UFOs in close proximity to the Moon operate remarkably in a silent manner, devoid of any discernible emissions, thereby indicating the plausibility of employing advanced propulsion systems that are rooted in scientific principles that have not yet gained recognition within the mainstream scientific community. The occurrence of unidentified flying objects around the Moon has captivated the attention of scientists and researchers who are determined to unravel this perplexing mystery. Although the scientific community has maintained a reserved stance towards these reports, there is an increasing acknowledgement that peculiar phenomena are taking place in lunar space, thereby necessitating a deeper exploration. Researchers from various fields are displaying a heightened curiosity towards the presence of unidentified aerial objects around the Moon. In recent years, a group of scientists has put forward a fascinating hypothesis, suggesting that the unidentified flying objects that have been observed could potentially be unmanned probes or even autonomous spacecraft, and quite conceivably from extraterrestrial origins. While it's important to note that this idea is still largely speculative and far from proven, it would be imprudent to completely dismiss it when we consider the consistency of the reports and the level of advanced technology described by witnesses. Furthermore, delving into the examination of these mysterious objects has the potential to provide invaluable revelations in regards to our comprehension of propulsion systems and the vast realm of space exploration. Throughout history, it has not been uncommon for significant scientific advancements to arise when delving into perplexing phenomena that defy easy explanation. Therefore, meticulously exploring the presence of UFOs near the Moon might hold the key to unlocking a treasure trove of new wisdom and understanding pertaining to space travel and cutting-edge technology. One of the most intriguing and thought-provoking hypotheses pertaining to unidentified flying objects near the Moon revolves around the intriguing notion that these phenomena could potentially be of alien descent. Although this conjecture is purely speculative and lacks concrete evidence, it compels us to contemplate the profound implications and ponder upon the existence of intelligent life forms beyond our own planet. As of right now, the existence of unidentified flying objects in close proximity to the Moon is an undeniably intriguing and significant occurrence that warrants thorough examination and investigation. While some may skeptically dismiss these sightings as mere anomalies or cases of mistaken identity, it is important to acknowledge the consistency and credibility of the numerous eyewitness reports. Additionally, the highly advanced technology exhibited by these objects and their enigmatic nature further underscore the need to delve deeper into this phenomenon. The prevalence of such accounts demands a comprehensive analysis that goes beyond surface-level explanations. It is crucial to approach this subject with a neutral stance in order to fully grasp its implications and potential significance. So, what do you make of this mysterious video? Be sure to leave your questions and answers in the comment section below and help us to grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos. Unidentified flying objects, or UFOs, have held an enduring fascination for humanity for decades. These enigmatic aerial phenomena, often associated with extraterrestrial life and advanced technology, have ignited our collective curiosity and imagination. UFO mysteries have intrigued us for various reasons, from the possibility of alien encounters to the challenge they pose to our understanding of the cosmos. A few months back, a mysterious photograph appeared on Reddit, depicting an unidentified object hiding within the clouds. The individual who made the post submitted 3 photographs. However, after answering a few questions, the man vanished without a trace, and no one has been able to make contact since this happened. The individual had been closely observing the atmospheric formations when a particular object captured their attention. Up in the lofty expanse of the sky, adorned with an array of clouds, they came across an extraordinary spectacle, an unidentified flying object that bore a striking resemblance to a disk and appeared to be camouflaged amidst a dense assemblage of cumulus clouds. With an overwhelming surge of excitement pulsating through his veins, the man hastily reached out for his camera, his fingers trembling with anticipation. A myriad of thoughts raced through his mind as he aimed his camera at the enigmatic phenomenon concealed behind the veils of the clouds. The celestial object, captivating and ineffably mysterious, possessed a gleaming and reflective surface akin to a resplendent disco ball. The surreality of such an image seemed almost too extraordinary to fathom, leaving him in a state of awe and disbelief. When the man logged onto Reddit, he eagerly shared his remarkable photographs, and the moment he hit the post button, the response was immediate and remarkable. Within a matter of hours, his post garnered substantial attention from a diverse group of individuals, including UFO enthusiasts, skeptics, and curious observers who were all captivated by this. As the post gained traction and popularity, the man found himself being bombarded with an overwhelming influx of inquiries, queries, and remarks. Amongst the Reddit community, there were skeptics who attributed this peculiar occurrence to mere optical illusions or weather-related anomalies. On the contrary, there were individuals who eagerly shared their own personal encounters with unidentified flying objects and urged him to get in touch with reputable UFO research organizations and experts for further investigation and analysis. However, he was resolute in his pursuit of unraveling the truth. Days slowly transformed into weeks, as the man's post on Reddit continued to captivate the interest of readers, and the impact of his post was far-reaching, as he began to receive an influx of messages from fellow enthusiasts of the skies, all claiming to have witnessed similar occurrences in various corners of the globe. These accounts echoed his own experience, detailing the presence of unidentified flying objects, resembling disco balls cunningly concealed within the ethereal cloud formations. The phenomenon of sightings involving disc-shaped objects has sparked a strong sense of curiosity among individuals, leading to organized initiatives aimed at gathering more data and evidence. Oddly enough, only a matter of days after this mysterious photograph was posted, the man vanished and hasn't been heard from since. Many who have been following this story have questioned what happened to him, and as of right now, various theories have been put forward to explain what happened. As many have pointed out, worryingly, it's not uncommon for people who research this topic to go missing. The realm of UFO sightings is teeming with fascination and enigma, as numerous individuals assert to have encountered unidentified flying objects soaring through the heavens. Amidst the plethora of stories and encounters, there have been cases in which people inexplicably disappeared after disclosing their UFO photographs or recounting their experiences. The subject of UFO sightings is an expansive and captivating domain, shrouded in secrecy and riddled with unanswered questions. Countless individuals around the globe claim to have personally witnessed the awe-inspiring sight of unidentified flying objects traverse the sky. One of the main motivations behind individuals capturing photographs of UFOs before disappearing is their strong desire to obtain tangible evidence of encounters with extraterrestrial beings. This desire stems from the long-standing efforts of UFO enthusiasts and researchers who have tirelessly sought to gather undeniable proof of the existence of UFOs. By doing so, they hope to establish the credibility of their claims and stimulate genuine scientific investigation into the phenomenon. For years, passionate UFO enthusiasts and dedicated researchers have been driven by the need to validate their beliefs and experiences. These individuals, driven by their relentless quest for evidence, may accidentally come across sightings, and manage to capture photographs that are truly captivating. And the burning desire within them to share these incredible findings compels them to upload these photographs on the internet, with the hope of generating interest and curiosity not only amongst the general public, but also within the scientific community. However, it should be noted that the revelation of such groundbreaking evidence can also lead to the unwanted attention of various individuals or groups who may have personal or vested interests in the matter. One viable reason behind the vanishing of individuals who photograph unidentified flying objects is believed to be government interference. It is not uncommon for individuals to inadvertently capture highly confidential military or classified technology while documenting UFO sightings through their lenses. In instances where these photographs attract significant public attention, governmental organizations might promptly intervene to safeguard national security concerns and interests. This immediate response is taken to ensure that any sensitive information regarding advanced technological advancements is not made widely accessible, thus maintaining the confidentiality and integrity of these state-of-the-art developments. Government officials or intelligence agents have the authority to make personal visits to individuals who have come across sensitive information, seizing any evidence they possess and cautioning them against any further disclosures. To ensure complete silence, individuals might be compelled to sign non-disclosure agreements, effectively burying their digital presence on the internet. These instances, wherein UFO photographers mysteriously vanish, serve as a haunting reminder of the significant repercussions one may face when exposing classified data. The disappearance of these photographers amplifies the potential dangers that await those who dare to reveal confidential information, thereby emphasizing the criticality of maintaining secrecy in such matters. It is believed by certain photographers who capture UFO sightings that their sudden disappearance could be connected to their actual interactions with beings from other planets. Despite the skepticism and doubt that typically surround such encounters, they remain a fascinating and significant aspect of the UFO phenomenon. In certain documented instances, individuals have come forward claiming to have been visited by extraterrestrial entities shortly after sharing their photographs of unidentified flying objects. These encounters serve as further intrigue, adding depth to the extraordinary world of UFOs and the potential existence of life beyond our own planet. These encounters, if they are indeed authentic, have the potential to completely alter a person's life and leave them feeling profoundly unsettled. In these extraordinary situations, extraterrestrial beings may impart important messages such as warnings or stress the utmost importance of maintaining secrecy. Overwhelmed by the potential repercussions and fearing further exposure, those who experience these encounters may opt to disappear from public view, choosing a life of seclusion in order to avoid any possible contact with these extraterrestrial entities. In certain situations, individuals who capture photographs of unidentified flying objects may encounter direct pressure or intimidation tactics from unknown sources who seek to prevent them from sharing their evidence. These coercive measures can vary from receiving anonymous messages that serve as ominous warnings about potential harm befalling their loved ones to experiencing blatant acts of intimidation. The reasons behind these menacing threats continue to be veiled in secrecy. There is speculation that influential entities, such as government agencies or covert organizations, might have a vested interest in concealing evidence of UFOs to uphold their control over public perception and discourage widespread panic. In this context, the vanishing of individuals who capture UFO sightings serves as a somber testament to the extreme measures certain individuals are willing to take in order to preserve the existing state of affairs. The profound silence surrounding these occurrences raises numerous questions about the hidden agendas and the potentially far-reaching consequences of keeping the truth hidden from the public eye. Despite the inherent perils and hazards associated with the act of disseminating pictures of unidentified flying objects, numerous individuals are motivated by an unyielding dedication to unveil the veracity. They hold steadfast in their conviction that revealing their discoveries is a moral obligation, undeterred by the potential aftermath that may ensue. These courageous individuals make the deliberate choice to share their captured UFO images with the public, fully cognizant of the potential consequences that may follow suit. Their motivation lies in the belief that their actions can make a significant contribution to the broader comprehension of the UFO phenomenon, with the ultimate aspiration of shedding light on the mysteries that encompass our universe. These individuals ardently hope that their compelling evidence will one day pave the way for unraveling the enigmatic secrets of the cosmos, thus providing invaluable answers to one of humanity's most enduring and perplexing enigmas. The vanishing of individuals who capture UFO sightings on camera, assuming the authenticity and credibility of their accounts, brings to light the intricate and diverse characteristics of the UFO phenomenon. It is a subject that encompasses various factors, such as the relentless search for concrete evidence, potential government involvement, encounters with extraterrestrial beings, possible coercion, and an unwavering commitment to uncovering the truth. These individuals emerge as enigmatic figures within the realm of UFO research, captivating the imagination with their mysterious disappearances and leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions. The narratives they recount serve as a solemn and cautionary testament to the inherent dangers and repercussions that come with the disclosure of UFO-related proof. The mystique enveloping their vanishing acts underscores the persistent allure of the UFO phenomenon and the tantalizing prospect that we may stand at the brink of uncovering one of the most monumental enigmas in human history. As we delve further into their accounts, we begin to comprehend the gravity of the risks involved and the profound impact they have on the world at large. As long as people persist in their quest for answers within the realm of unidentified flying objects, the accounts of individuals mysteriously disappearing following the disclosure of their photographic evidence will continue to be ingrained in the lasting heritage of this perplexing and fascinating field of investigation. This enduring legacy serves as a testament to the enigmatic nature of UFO exploration, captivating the minds of enthusiasts and researchers alike. Unidentified flying objects have been a subject of fascination for humans throughout history. Their existence, if proven real and genuine, holds a profound allure that extends beyond mere curiosity. Exploring the possibility of UFOs, it becomes evident that they have captivated the collective human imagination for various reasons. One of the primary factors that captivates our curiosity regarding unidentified flying objects is the captivating possibility that they serve as compelling evidence of the existence of extraterrestrial life. This enduring concept of the cosmos being populated by life forms beyond our own planet has stimulated our imaginations for countless generations. The potential revelation that UFOs are, in fact, manned by intelligent beings from distant celestial bodies holds the power to revolutionize our understanding of the existence and diversity of life in the vast expanse beyond Earth's boundaries. This notion has captivated humanity for centuries and continues to provoke deep contemplation and investigation into the mysteries of the cosmos that surrounds us. The mere contemplation of encountering highly developed alien societies, with their diverse cultures and advanced technologies, sparks an insatiable curiosity within us, unveiling a tantalizing glimpse into a universe brimming with infinite possibilities. The presence of unidentified flying objects hints at the remarkable potential for interstellar communication, collaboration, and the exchange of knowledge, further enthralling our innate fascination with the vast cosmic expanse. UFO sightings are frequently associated with extraordinary and cutting-edge technologies that appear to be beyond our current understanding. These unidentified flying objects possess the ability to hover silently in the air and perform high-speed maneuvers that surpass the capabilities of any known human-made aircraft. Such occurrences challenge our comprehension of physics and engineering, pushing the boundaries of what we perceive as possible in terms of technological advancements. If the existence of UFOs is indeed confirmed, and they are verified as authentic, it opens up the possibility of unraveling the mysteries behind their advanced technologies. These unidentified flying objects present an intriguing opportunity to delve into the realm of revolutionary advancements in human engineering and propulsion systems. By closely studying and comprehending the extraterrestrial technologies employed by these extraordinary crafts, we may unlock profound scientific breakthroughs and innovative discoveries. The intriguing fascination with the unfamiliar has perpetually captivated the human mind, while unidentified flying objects stand as one of the most perplexing enigmas of our era. Their enigmatic essence, elusiveness in appearances, and perplexing defiance of ordinary explanations ignite an insatiable curiosity and ignite the flames of our imagination. The mere thought of unraveling the enigmatic mysteries surrounding unidentified flying objects ignites a burning desire within us to embark on a thrilling journey of exploration and enlightenment. It beckons us to venture into uncharted realms, pushing the limits of our knowledge and expanding the horizons of human understanding. This relentless pursuit of understanding UFOs transforms into a profound quest to unveil verities that have the potential to challenge and reshape our perception of reality itself. The world of UFOs is a realm fraught with endless possibilities and tantalizing questions. UFOs present us with deep existential inquiries regarding where humanity fits into the grand scope of the universe. If these unidentified flying objects are indeed authentic and not figments of imagination, they compel us to address fundamental uncertainties surrounding our existence, beginnings, and ultimate fate as a species. These enigmatic phenomena raise profound philosophical and scientific questions that demand thorough exploration and contemplation. The mere possibility of the existence of highly advanced extraterrestrial societies possessing the ability to travel between stars urges us to ponder the immense expanse of the universe and our place within it. It gives rise to profound discussions regarding our duty as caretakers of Earth and the potential significance we might hold within a wider cosmic community. Consequently, unidentified flying objects serve as a catalyst for deep philosophical and existential reflections. UFOs, assuming their authenticity and legitimacy, pose a formidable challenge to well-established scientific principles and the way we perceive the world. They compel us to reassess our knowledge of the natural order, celestial occurrences, and the potentiality of cutting-edge technologies that exceed our present grasp. In light of unexplained occurrences in the sky, scientists and researchers are encouraged to embark on new and unexplored avenues of investigation, thereby pushing the limits of scientific knowledge. The presence of unidentified flying objects serves as a constant reminder that enigmas continue to exist within the vast expanses of our universe, eagerly awaiting exploration by those who possess the curiosity and determination to venture into uncharted scientific territories and embark on daring expeditions of discovery and understanding. So, what do you make of these mysterious photographs? Be sure to leave your questions and answers in the comment section below and help us to grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos. In the annals of digital history, few entities have captured the world's imagination and garnered as much attention as the loosely organized, decentralized collective known as Anonymous. Anonymous is a global phenomenon that has emerged as a powerful force in the realm of digital activism, hacktivism, and online vigilantism. In 2017, Anonymous revealed that a remarkable discovery came to light, revealing that a collector residing in Pittsburgh possessed a fascinating assortment of historical artifacts. Among his prized possessions were not one, but two NASA computers from the renowned Apollo era, along with a substantial collection of hundreds of magnetic tapes. These tapes harbored the potential of containing invaluable information pertaining to the profound exploration of outer space. Regrettably, the speculation surrounding the significance of these tapes will now forever remain a mystery. NASA, in a surprising turn of events, issued an order for their eradication, leaving us devoid of the opportunity to uncover the enigmatic knowledge they could have bestowed upon us. It is worth noting that the individual who had safeguarded these extraordinary artifacts in his garage unfortunately passed away in the year 2011. According to reports, an interesting incident occurred in 2015 when a man stumbled upon NASA computers while cleaning out a basement and garage. To his surprise, he also discovered a collection of magnetic data tapes dating back to the years between 1967 and 1974. These tapes were none other than labeled as Pioneer probe missions, holding immense historical value. In a document released by NASA, it was disclosed that an administrative investigation was launched upon receiving information from a redacted source. The source, a resident of Pittsburgh, had been contacted by a NASA official in relation to her possession of a computer bearing a plate labeled Goddard Space Flight Center, along with reels of magnetic data tapes. Notably, several tapes were specifically labeled as from the year 1969 and were found in the process of cleaning the residence of a deceased individual. This incident raised various intriguing questions and piqued the interest of both NASA and the general public, and the recovery of these potentially significant historical data tapes undoubtedly provided a unique opportunity to delve into the early days of NASA's exploration efforts. The comprehensive administrative investigation aimed to shed light on the origins and significance of these tapes, and this incident offers a fascinating glimpse into the past achievements and advancements of NASA. The enriched understanding of these historical magnetic data tapes from the Pioneer probe missions can potentially provide valuable insights and enhance our knowledge of space exploration during that era. In a documented report on December 1, 2015, someone conducted an interview with a person whose identity has been redacted, discussing an intriguing subject related to NASA reels and computers. The individual revealed that they engage in scrapping as a hobby, which not only brings them joy, but also serves as an additional source of income. It was conveyed that this person was approached by someone, also redacted for anonymity, who was familiar with their scrapping hobby. The individual disclosed that the person who approached them had recently passed away, leaving behind a considerable amount of electronic equipment at their residence. According to the interviewee, the person who approached them explicitly stated that they were welcome to take whatever they desired from the deceased person's residence. During the weekend of November 14, 2015, the individual took the opportunity to tidy up the deceased person's home and, to their astonishment, stumbled upon a treasure trove. Among their findings were approximately 300 reel tapes from NASA, which were determined to date back from 1969 to 1972, capturing a significant period in the organization's history. Additionally, they discovered 2 large computers that bore distinctive NASA markings. The discovery of these rare artifacts not only added excitement to the person who found them, but they took the reel tapes from their original location and brought them to his own residence. However, he left the computers behind at the other person's house because they were too heavy to conveniently transport. They mentioned that a crane might have been utilized to move the computers. It is important to note that he expressed his intention to act in accordance with the law and return the NASA property. In order to facilitate this process, they had a key to the person's residence and were willing to accompany investigators to inspect the computers. This potential recovery operation of the NASA historic items has been coordinated and approved by the History Office and NASA headquarters. In addition, they have expressed a desire to personally review the reel tapes for any historical significance they may hold. To assist in this endeavor, he has requested assistance from the NASA Office of Inspector General in collecting the reel tapes from Pittsburgh. This collaborative effort aims to ensure the proper handling and preservation of these valuable NASA artifacts. It is intriguing to note that the entire situation was shrouded in secrecy until Motherboard became aware of the events and subsequently obtained the documents through a Freedom of Information Act request. The subsequent release of these documents made the information accessible to the public. The release of the documents, despite being accomplished, has raised concerns due to the extensive redaction of crucial details. Though lacking in transparency, one aspect that emerged was the confirmation of NASA's deliberate destruction of all the files. The National Aeronautics and Space Administration, renowned for its remarkable achievements and significant contributions to scientific research, holds a distinguished position as one of the world's foremost research agencies. It stands as a pioneer in the field of space exploration, having conducted groundbreaking missions since its inception. Over the course of its history, NASA has propelled countless technological advancements and made significant discoveries that have reshaped our understanding of the cosmos. Despite its extensive studies and experience, NASA officials have not been immune to errors and failures. This underscores the notion that even the most knowledgeable and capable individuals can still make mistakes. While NASA has encountered instances of mishaps and setbacks, it is important to recognize that not all of these incidents have been disclosed to the public. Undoubtedly, NASA's accomplishments have captured the imagination of the world, marking the triumphs of human ingenuity and scientific progress. From the momentous first launch into space to the continuous exploration of distant celestial bodies, NASA's expeditions have paved the way for groundbreaking discoveries, revealing aspects of our universe that were once shrouded in mystery. One pivotal error committed by NASA was the unfortunate loss of the original footage capturing the historic first moonwalk. It is worth noting that NASA officials have asserted their diligent efforts in searching for these mysteriously misplaced tapes ever since their absence was officially confirmed. However, skepticism has arisen among many individuals regarding NASA's explanation, given the staggering quantity of tapes that could potentially be misplaced. The significance of this loss cannot be overstated, as it represents a substantial gap in documenting one of humankind's most remarkable achievements. The absence of this valuable footage has fueled speculation and raised questions about the accuracy and reliability of NASA's claims. The issue at hand revolves around the inquiry of how the highly significant tapes were inadvertently misplaced. It is worth noting that prior to their misplacement, selected segments from the footage had been publicly aired on television. The momentous occasion of mankind's initial steps on the lunar surface constituted an unmatched feat in the realm of space exploration, making it all the more astonishing that the loss of these tapes could have transpired so effortlessly. This incident raises perplexing questions regarding the circumstances surrounding the tape's disappearance and prompts a deeper exploration into the potential reasons and consequences of this regrettable occurrence. Numerous hypotheses have emerged surrounding the mysterious disappearance of the tapes, featuring a range of explanations. While some put forth the notion that these tapes were deliberately withheld from the public as a precautionary measure, others maintain that they were genuinely misplaced. Moreover, more intricate theories have also been posited. Among these is a theory concocted by a community skeptical of NASA's reliability, alleging that the purportedly missing files harbor some concealed secrets, prompting the space agency to eliminate any incriminating evidence contained within them. These diverse conjectures have generated a discourse rife with speculation and intrigue. However, in recent years, a remarkable discovery was made regarding the previously lost tapes. It has been revealed that a staggering number of over 200,000 recording tapes, which NASA had initially categorized as not important, underwent demagnetization to be repurposed for future use. Consequently, these tapes inadvertently made their way to an auction. Astonishingly, it was a NASA intern who, unbeknownst to the tape's historical significance, acquired approximately 65 boxes of these recordings through the said auction. Initially planning to profit from selling the tapes to a television station, where they would have been recycled for new recordings, the intern stumbled upon a peculiar label affixed to the boxes that explicitly identified them as being associated with the Apollo 11 mission. Coincidentally aware of the widely known tale of the lost tapes, the intern embarked on a quest to determine their true contents. The resourceful intern ingeniously managed to play the tapes, defying their intended fate. Thus began the incredible journey of rediscovering the long-lost and forgotten footage. It took extensive effort and dedication, but ultimately the intern's efforts were fruitful. After meticulously confirming the identity of the tapes as the long-lost recordings, a stunning 2.5 hours of footage were triumphantly recovered and painstakingly digitized, ensuring their preservation for future generations to marvel at and appreciate. One topic that has captivated public interest is that of unidentified flying objects, and even astronauts themselves have shared their own intriguing accounts. Among these individuals, Edgar Mitchell stands out. Mitchell, who was the 6th person to set foot on the moon, played a crucial role in piloting the Apollo 14 lunar module, which marked the inaugural Apollo mission dedicated to conducting scientific experiments on the lunar surface. During this mission, Mitchell and his crew dedicated a remarkable 9 hours to conducting research in the Fra Mauro Highlands region of the moon. While Mitchell is renowned for his extraordinary experience as an astronaut, he has also garnered significant attention within the space community for his outspoken theories concerning UFOs and extraterrestrial life. The combination of Mitchell's upbringing amidst the space race and his subsequent career as an astronaut have undoubtedly shaped his perspective, leading him to delve into the realms of UFOs and the potential existence of alien life. It is important to note that Mitchell's interest in UFOs and extraterrestrial phenomena goes beyond mere speculation. He is engaged in scientific research and exploration to support his views, aiming to shed light on the mysteries that lie beyond our planet. Mitchell's willingness to challenge conventional beliefs and explore unconventional ideas has solidified his reputation as a boundary-pushing thinker within both the scientific and UFO research communities. Edgar Mitchell embarked on a remarkable journey in his professional life, initially venturing into a military path by joining the esteemed US Navy as a pilot in 1948. Eventually, his exceptional skills and dedication caught the attention of NASA, leading to his selection as an astronaut in 1966. However, it was in the later stages of Mitchell's career, after retiring from active service, that he found himself entangled in discussions regarding the intriguing realm of paranormal phenomena that occur in the vastness of space, including his own personal encounters. It was during the groundbreaking Apollo 14 mission, a mission largely unknown to the general public, that the extraordinary occurrences surrounding Edgar Mitchell began to unfold. The mission, which took place under the auspices of scientific exploration, held within its bounds an undercurrent of peculiar and inexplicable incidents that left the world in awe and bewilderment. Following his encounter with what he deemed as a supernatural force transcending the realm of existence, Mitchell's fascination with paranormal occurrences and the expanses of consciousness grew exponentially. This newfound intrigue led him to venture into the realms of extrasensory perception, conducting extensive experiments centered around psychic abilities, including telepathy, while aboard the Apollo 14 module. Eerily enough, it appears that Mitchell's encounter had a profound impact on him, leaving an indelible mark on his psyche. Edgar Mitchell, along with a group of psychics, later made claims of engaging in telepathic communication while he was in space. Following his space mission, Mitchell went on to establish the Institute of Noetic Sciences, which carried on the research he had initiated both privately and during his time in orbit. Throughout his lifetime, Mitchell consistently maintained his belief in the existence of unidentified flying objects. In a 1996 interview on the television show Dateline, Mitchell openly expressed his conviction that UFO contact is very strong and accused the US government of concealing evidence of extraterrestrial encounters and UFO crash incidents. His statements shed light on a pervasive cover-up, sparking discussions surrounding the presence of alien visits and their subsequent suppression by authorities. The field of UFOs and outer space continues to captivate the public's interest, showing no signs of slowing down. Interestingly, there is a growing belief among many that these mysterious, unidentified flying objects can actually be spotted when observing the International Space Station. Serving as a substantial spacecraft orbiting our planet, the ISS has served as a home for astronauts over the years and boasts a crucial role as a scientific laboratory, facilitating a wide range of experiments. The construction of this remarkable space station was a collaborative effort involving multiple countries, with astronauts themselves assembling many of its components in the weightless environment of space. The connection between UFO sightings and the ISS has garnered significant attention, fostering a belief that these unidentified objects frequently manifest within close proximity. This correlation fuels speculation and curiosity regarding the mysteries hidden within the vastness of space. The space station, with its scientific contributions and collaborative spirit, remains a testament to human ingenuity and serves as a beacon of exploration in our ongoing quest for knowledge beyond our planetary boundaries. The International Space Station is equipped with a multitude of cameras that provide the public with a unique opportunity to observe the vastness of the cosmos. However, on occasion, individuals manage to capture footage that defies explanation. Here, we present a collection of videos recorded by the International Space Station, which some claim depict unidentified crafts from beyond our world. These intriguing videos have captured the attention of both scientists and enthusiasts alike. The footage, taken by the station's cameras, showcases unusual objects traversing the celestial expanse. While the origin and nature of these objects remain mysterious, they have sparked debates and discussions within the scientific community.